XtianNinja. You have...
stream, everybody. Good to see you. Find that stuff up in a minute. Hello. Woohoo! I don't woohoo very good. I don't know. Maybe it's just a lack of Americanism. But that was my best woohoo. Woohoo! Somewhere got like a howling dog, like I've been shot and I'm behind the fence. We're hoping somebody will come and help me, as opposed to really excited to start stream, which I am. It's a good day. I hope you're having a good day too. Am I a little low? My apple bottom jeans with the boots with the fur? I don't have my boots with my fur on though. I got my apple bottom jeans on though. You should see them. You shouldn't see them. I don't do that because I don't want that many viewers. You know what I mean? If I start utilizing the assets of my body strictly for views, it would be too much. You know what I mean? It'd be too much. I'd end up with a bunch of like advertising. Like it'd be terrible. Yeah. Well, I don't have the boots with the fur. I'm thinking about it, but I don't. You know, I don't have them. Problem is I haven't quite figured out. Is it boots that have fur on them, or is it boots and a fur, right? That she's wearing. Also, how can she have apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur, and then by the time she gets to the stage, she's got the baggy sweatpants and the Reeboks with the straps? How does that work? Does she change on the way to the floor? The boots have fur. I mean, that's okay. I'll take that. Don't do that. Woohoo! It sounds vaguely unimpressed. Then I can do the Homer. Woohoo! Yeah, I got to maintain that manageable fan base. Been a bit since I've been here. I appreciate it. Yes, cleaner background. A lot cleaner. Like, as in, it's empty. Like, the word, it's not just clean, it's empty. Let's be real. I have eliminated the background almost completely. What is that? Oh, it's a straw. Okay, cool. There's a stick sticking out. My boots have fur. Boots have fur. Well, that's the thing. Is it boots with the fur? I've seen those. You know, I don't know. I was never much for clubbing back in the early 2000s. I assume is when that came out. Probably. Didn't everything. So I'm going to. Yeah, today's going to be fun. I'm going to be doing some. It's question mark clock. We're gonna be doing. I almost gave a talk. I almost gave a talk because I gave a big talk at Hack this weekend. There's so many things that have happened in the last little while here. Crazy. I'll give you a bit of a life update. But hello, Wolfcat. Good to see you. Oh, that's adorable. Is that one of yours? Rosie Remy. Oh, that is cute. I like that. So I've had a whole bunch of things. I'll give you a bit of an update. But dude, I tell you what, I almost gave a talk today. I saved it for tomorrow. I was invited to speak at Hack. Hack is in Toronto, is a collection of nerds, like computer dudes, I guess you'd say, computer folk that is not necessarily like Christian content creators or anything, but more along the lines of, just realized my head is super purple. I gotta dial that back. Meow. There we go. Yeah, so those are cool. Yeah, so like it was very neat to be able to go there, and I was able to give a talk about sort of why are they in their room and ministry to the digital folks, internet folks, and all that. And it was great. I loved doing it, and they were super kind. They had invited me originally to like walk down there, to go down there live. Boy, oh boy, come on, brain. And it would, but the thing is, it's like it would take a hotel, and it would take a travel, and it would take all that stuff. And it was a 15-minute little side talk, right? And 30-minute with the whatever. And so it was not worth it. So I said, well, can we do it virtually? Like, can I dial in or something? And sure enough, they were cool with it. They were very, very awesome in their radness. And I was blessed to be able to have a chat. There was a guy who stood up, and it was a talk, and it was a question after the talk, and it was the most I've never heard the challenge before, and it was a really interesting sort of moral question, and that was, how can you be a Christian content creator if you are swayed by the influence of your sponsors? Can you trust, or can you be a Christian content creator if you're, hawking products, right? Yes, they were awesome in their redness. I'm like, it's ironic to me because I'm like, the challenge was basically like, he doesn't want to see that. And I'm like, okay, fair. Like, you don't want to see somebody have their opinion swayed because of their sponsor and whatnot. It might look a little bit weird. Okay, I can understand that. But like, he used an example where he's like, can you imagine Paul going and teaching and then asking for money? And as soon as he said that, I'm like, actually, that's exactly what he could have done. Like, that was literally how he should have been making his money. The tent maker thing was literally because he didn't want to be accused, but he followed that up with, but pay your pastor, pay your preachers, because that's the job, that's their job. And he said, I could have been taking your money this whole time, but I didn't, because I didn't want anybody to be able to accuse me of anything. So that's kind of the thing, right? That is right. And so his thing was, well, maybe they shouldn't. And I had kind of two responses. One, that's a bad example, because he totally could have, and he could have been, had literal actual sponsors, like the very definition of the term, giving to him. And the second one is, but the problem is that, they're not supported. The whole presentation is basically like, the church should be working with these guys because they have passion and they have communities and whatnot. Let's go. And but the church isn't. So like, what do you want them to do? like this thing is expensive. Computers are expensive, cameras are expensive. You got to pay for the internet, pay for the bills. You can't have a side gig with your side gig. You know what I mean? If you have a second job or whatever, then you're not going to be able to do the streaming thing, not with any kind of seriousness. And so therefore, what do you want them to do? How are they going to, obviously, if the church won't do it, then they got to figure something out. And I agree, take your sponsors, choose your sponsors carefully. That's a big one for sure. If you only go by donation, you still have to please. Well, and that's true too, right? Like, so I've been, I was a pastor for a long time, and one of the pressures or one of the temptations towards pressure is that somebody, like the church will be in trouble, or because a big donor will get mad. I can understand the temptation. I think you guys know my personality by now, that I wouldn't be swayed by that, but it definitely, kind of crossed my mind. And it was, if I tick off so-and-so, if I tick off this couple, if I, annoy this person with my, my preaching or leadership or the direction that I'm trying to go, they're going to get mad, and they're going to respond with their money by taking and then that's kind of a big deal, especially when you're in a small church. And so, and I had that. I had people threaten to, like, don't you know who I am? Like, you'd like stupid stuff, or come in and be like, I want to do something for the church, but and I'm going to donate a whole bunch of money, but I get to pick where it goes. And I'm like, then keep it, because that's not how it works, right? And then, I've had other people who was the person who was counting the stupid tithes, man, dude, comes up to me during the week, and he's like, dude, he's an old man. He's like, hey, so-and-so, you want to know how much they tithe? And I'm like, no, that's literally not allowed. Don't. And he's like, oh, you should totally know though. And I'm like, I totally shouldn't actually. And I'm like, don't tell me. And so he's like, but I really want to tell you. So I had to get up out of my chair, out of my office, and walk away. I'm like, no, I don't want to know. And as I'm walking away, he's like walking behind me going, but I really want to tell you, you don't want to offend them. And I'm like, leave me alone. I walked out of the building to get away from this guy because he was so desperate. And that's the temptation, right? Is that you're offended. You're tempted to alter the message, or alter at least the intensity of the message, or change the message, or whatever, focus on a certain thing because of the money. And that is a temptation, I will admit, but it isn't one that a good Christian, or one who understands where God, how God provides, how that works, is worried about. You're not keeping the church going. You're not paying my bills. You're not, whatever, God does that. And if you take off, you're losing the blessing of being part of what's going on here, and God's going to fill in the gap anyway. The sermon is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Can you imagine? I totally can imagine, actually. Because I mean, like Tetzel, right? Like literally, that's exactly what Tetzel would do. Give a sermon, and halfway through, this sermon is sponsored by the Pope. Do you have dead relatives or old people in your life that you're worried that they went to hell? Are you worried about yourself having way too much sin, and that you might have to go to purgatory for 50, 60, 70,000 years? Well, have I got a deal for you? You give me money, I'll give it to the Pope so he can build his big gold building out of all your donations, and he will generously knock off a couple $1,000. The bigger the donation, the more time he knocks off purgatory. Isn't he great? And then Martin Luther went, no, that's not cool. And then we had the Reformation. But yeah, it's like almost literally. I've been back and forth with the sponsorship thing. When I first started, I'm like, I don't want to do sponsorship. That feels weird. But then I'm also like, but is it possible that is the way that I talked to somebody, right? I talked to somebody about it. It was actually Susie. I'm like, how do you justify having sponsors and whatnot? And he's like, it's a way for people to support my ministry, and then they get something out of it. Like, it's really not that big a deal. And I'm like, that's a very good point. Like, if you buy from Rogue, or you buy from, Dragon Roast, you get coffee. And it's not like I'm, it's really not that big a deal. Fair point. Yeah. Well, because you were talking about the stream elements thing where, he goes and plays some random game he's never played before. And he's like, if you guys, get to level such and such, then we'll be able, you'll be able to, I'll get some money. And so it's a way for them, especially, I think he also said, like, people who don't have the money, they could just download the app, get the level such and such, you get some money, and it's a way for them to help. And I'm like, that is such a better way to look at it than I was looking at it. Posted a pic of your current setup, as in your setup for stream. I will take a look at it. Once it came across, it's okay to know about tithes because Jesus knew and shared of the widow and her offering. I don't know if that's what Jesus highlighted that for, though. No, that's not why. It's okay to know what people. I'm sorry, that's not. I love stretches like that. Jesus used the widow's offering as an example for how giving should be done from the heart, which is why I should know how much you tithe. And that is not the application there. That is not the application there. So dumb. This is the last stream ever? It is the last stream ever on this PC. Yeah, I will not be streaming anymore on this PC. It's been a really good run, and it can't be done anymore. It's just not gonna be able to happen. And so I'm not streaming anymore on this PC. Yeah, sorry, that's just the way it's got to be. Sorry. It's actually a really cool story though. You guys know, so I don't have to tell you. I know, it's a good question. That's a good question. You'll have to watch me when I have my new PC. I'm realizing now the Blue Shroom, I don't think your first language is English, right? Like you know English, obviously you know it well, right? But you obviously, maybe it's not your first language, so you're not picking up the joke, right? It's the last stream on this PC, this particular PC, because I finally got it. Okay, good. You got it. Okay, good. Whew. I was worried that I was pushing it too far and you were lost. Yeah. And it was supposed to, yeah, exactly, man. Wait, maybe you should just graduate. Have you thought of that? Have you considered maybe graduating and not just doing exams for the rest of your life? So the title was my son's idea. I said I should, I'm going to put out a thing, and I can't remember what my idea was. I was trying to be clever, and he's like, "What you should do," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm definitely doing that." So, yeah. So that's where that came from. So yeah, really cool story. So I was, the coffers were getting a little empty thanks to a bunch of other stuff. I went and did a little bit of math and figured some things out, and was able to recoup, which was nice. And then I've been looking on Monday. Like, I couldn't stream on Thursday because Thursday the computer was just absolutely fried, just done, just cooked. And I'm like, how do I freaking do this? So I went to, I've shopped and I shopped and I shopped and I shopped and I shopped, went to Canada Computers, and I'm like, dude, I want the impossible. So help. I need a PC that has like a really good, a PSU, like a really good power supply. And because I want to be able to put my old 3060 into it. And I also want it to be able to have, but I don't want it to be expensive. And I want it to be pre-built. Because if I try to build it myself, I don't want to have to pay for Windows 11 and it'll be $1,000. So do you have that? Because that's not a thing that people have. Oh yeah, I'm just going to build a pre-built, that doesn't have a video card and put a 600 watt power supply in there. Sure, that exists. And then it did. He's like, actually, yeah, we have one that we put together just so that somebody could put a video card into it. And they have one. We have one of them. And I looked at the price and I'm like, that's so cheap. Is it good? Is it bad? Like, show me the specs. And it's not bad. It'll do the job just fine. And so I was able to get it. And then the people from the church emailed me and were like, hey, we've been kind of praying and thinking about you. We want to come by tomorrow night to help you out. And so, like, it's not only is it was it a good deal, but it'll be paid for, not by me. God took care of it. So I'm very, very, very thankful. I almost didn't stream today because I was really excited to like get it started, like get going on the project. But I, I'm like, okay. So I turned on the PC, just like on Thursday. It was completely borked, just bad. What's up, River? Yeah, just bad, right? And so it's I'm like, okay, how am I gonna stream to? Do I just cancel stream? Do I call it done? Am I gonna be able to stream today? And so I went in and I did something that I like, sort of the last ditch effort. I don't know if you've ever tried to revive an old PC that you're like, what is wrong with this thing? I went in and I reseated the RAM, right? And then I spun the CPU thing, the fan, because that'll help. It's the equivalent of banging on the side of the TV or the top of the VCR. Try to get things moving along, hitting the dashboard to make your car go. It sometimes works. And then I came in and I loaded it up and it was like pinned again. It was like it's all red. And I'm like, oh. So I went through all the processes and I'm just like, okay, if this is the last stream, then I'm just going to end everything. Everything that's got any kind of use. And I just deleted it all. So I'd imagine I'm the least secure, least useful computer right now. But what it does is it runs OBS for one more stream. So praise God, it'll squeeze a little bit more out. And then as of tomorrow, I hope as of tomorrow, I should be able to, it should be an easy transition, man. I just have to install OBS. Not that hard. So, knock on wood, but it should be fine for tomorrow to be able to just put this past this chapter of I hate my PC, and I've been talking about that for 2 years, behind me. And then we can move on with life and it'll all be better and the PC will work forever and I'll never have another problem as long as I live and it'll be all great forever. That is the plan. I was actually talking to the guy and I said, hello, Wavy Cat. Hi, Swag. I said to him, what do you think of the Windows 11 update thing? I heard somewhere it's going to be the biggest e-waste disaster in history, right? And he's like, I doubt it. He's like, people, aren't gonna, won't be a problem. I'm like, all right. I don't know. I don't think so either, because when it does that, like there's still people running Windows 8, Windows XP, Windows 7, people, running like really old OSs and they don't care. They're just insecure. They're running on a whatever. And so I don't think it's going to be everybody's throwing out their laptops and throwing out their computers. Nobody can do that. If they could do that, they would do that now. Like come November, they're not going to all of a sudden magically have enough money for a brand new laptop. They're just, they're just gonna be like, well, tough noogies. I know that they did an extension, that you can go pay, give them $30 or something like that, so that you can have an extended bit of life on your Windows 11 for like a year or something. But even then, who knows? I thought you walked up to the guy and said, hey, Wavy Cat. Hi, Swag. Sup? Hey, sup, Swag? That is what I call people, because I'm awesome like that. Yeah, so the plan today is we're gonna be talking a little bit. We're gonna do AMA. I would love to hear some questions from you guys, because I was looking for, I had a talk planned right up until the last second where my brain is like, you know what? That's better tomorrow. That is a Taco Tuesday talk. I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Exactly. I'm hip with the times. I got the flow. I'm jiggy with it, as the kids say. I'm jiggy with it. So my hope is that we're able to kind of pull that off. Yeah. Okay. So if anybody has an AMA, now's the time. Let's chat. And then, we're going to play a game called Assemble with Care. So Assemble with Care, I looked at the trailer. I have the game. Now it was on sale for the indie month, whatever that thing is. And it's a game, at least the trailer seemed to be talking about not being so attached to stuff. Right. And it seemed very appropriate to me, and even more so now that I'm thinking about it, that the stuff in our life are things that are generally transient, right? They move on. We can't, no, there's no stuff in the world. Yep, bring it on. There's no stuff in the world that'll stick around. None. You can't take anything with you. It'll all, Jesus said, it'll all be dust someday. Or someone's going to take it away. Like you're not gonna be able to keep it. All right, bye-bye. Oh wait, I have to go. Good last stream. Everybody got things to do this morning? Not exams, gotta go. Yeah, dude, it's late for you. Have a good one. Thanks for being here. You are awesome. God bless. Yes, bring it on. Yeah, so that's the plan. That is the plan. The hope is that it kind of goes along with the, into the old, into the new, worrying about stuff. Especially, like, I don't know. Have I told you guys yet that that Anita is there for 90 days now? I don't think I've told you guys that. So have I told you guys that Anita is staying at the facility for 90 days now? I honestly can't remember. I don't think I did. Sup, Chrono? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, man. No, okay. So story time. I was walking around. Oh, it's crazy, man. Yeah, last number. Okay, good. So crazy, man. Crazy. I'm just walking around. Winners. I friggin' love Winners. I don't know if you guys have Winners in the States, but it's great. What a cool, it's like going to a really fancy garage sale and walking around. Just look at all the rich people things that I don't want, but very cool, like here's Carmel's worth $15, and oh look, it's a big brass ball. Oh look, it's a tile for your wall. Nope, I'm good. But it's fun to look at. I appreciate that. My wife was criticizing. She said it's too big, and I'm like, I don't know. The goatee looks starting to look pretty good. I mean, I'm looking like an ancient old man, but that's the way it is. So yeah, story time, and then I'll get back to Swag's question. So I'm there walking around Walmart, Winners, and I get a phone call. No, my son got a phone call, and it's mom, and she's chatting with him because she gets a couple phone calls a week, and she's chatting with him, and I walk by, like, hear my wife's voice, and like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? And she's like, oh, good, you're here. I have the opportunity to stay for 90 days. Apparently you raised the money for it. And I'm like, no, that definitely did not happen. So I pull up and I go looking on the computer, I'm like, the phone, whatever. Yeah, the phone, like give, send, go. No, it's still at the same thing. Right? It's still the same number. So no, we didn't raise anything. No, I didn't miraculously get $16,000 that I don't know where it came from, and I don't know how it worked. And so I, contacted the person running the Give, Send, Go. Did you get private donation of something that I don't know about? Right? And then all of a sudden, she's like, nope, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, okay, so we don't know what you're talking about, actually. I don't know. I don't see how you can go for 90 days, because that would require somebody to have just, without my knowledge, without their knowledge, given like $16,000 or $15,000 to those guys without letting us know, right? So I don't think I don't know what they're talking about, and I don't want like a bill at the end. So like maybe have a talk with them, and then not long later, she comes back and she's like, no, yeah, some private donor. Don't know who, don't know when, don't know whatever, gave the full amount so that Anita could be there for the full 90 days, and it's completely paid for. All you have to do is say yes. And so, I'm talking to her about it, and I'm like, okay, so, like you were kind of counting the days for coming home, and like, is this something that you want to do? And, I talked to the owner, the manager, whatever. I'm like, is there 90 days worth of stuff to do, or is she going to be repeating at this point, where she's going to be going through stuff she's already gone through? Like, no, the actual program is 14 weeks long. Like the program they take you through is 14 weeks long. So she would have ended up having to cut it early anyway. Right. And so crazy, man. Crazy. So you're like, yeah, if you want to go for it, go for it. And so all of a sudden, boom, she's not coming home till December 7th, which actually there is even a sort of a double blessing in that I was coming home on the 7th. She was coming home I was coming home on the 9th. She was coming home on the 7th of November. She'd have been home for 2 days while I was in reach. And I was like, right. Not that I think she's going to do anything or it's going to be bad or whatever, but I, still like that's not the best way to do things. And so boom, So yeah, it's very exciting. Very exciting. Want some more my eyes user broken? That's funny. You fix that too. One of these days, man. One of these days. All of my lights are like on a different IP because my router got rebooted or something. Silly. Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. Good morning to you as well. Good morning. Yeah, so that's the story. That's the story. And so she's going to be there for a while. She's really enjoying it. She's really enjoying the counselor, and she does, I don't know, 8 or 10 hours of like classes and counseling and groups and journaling and whatnot. Like, it's really intensive. And so she's been doing this for a while, and she's getting a lot out of it, and the food is really good, and the she's able to sleep, and her roommate's nice. And like that, like, it's a really good experience. And let me tell you, it wasn't always a good experience in the previous places. Like when she was in what we call the Royal here, which is a mental health hospital paid for by the government, it was really, really uncomfortable. Like the bed wasn't good. The staff wasn't super nice. There was nothing to do, right? Like Tuesday for like half an hour where they'll bring in like a dog, and then there's like a board game night or something you could do once a week. Like it was just nothing to do, and so you go stir crazy. And then they were not the best people, and then you go to the hospital, you're in the ER, like in the ER, in the psych ward of the ER. It is even worse. People there are legit scary, and there's sort of my wife going through a hard time, and she's surrounded by some pretty scary. That's not fun. So at some point when you go to, the we're helping you trips into we're no longer helping you, we're actually causing problems now. And that basically happened when she was in other places. She was in jeopardy, and then all of a sudden she's kind of doing a little bit better, but then she stays for a little too long, and all of a sudden like things are getting worse because the environment is just bad. And so the being in this has been an absolute miracle. It's crazy, man. Crazy. It's so much, and we've had 3 good weekends together, 3 good days. Like she came home on Sunday, came home on Monday, came home on Saturday, and it was positive, right? Hey Duck, good to see you. It was positive, which I don't know if you have ever struggled with somebody with mental health, or you personally have mental health issues or whatever. There's this sort of overarching nervousness, this like waiting for the shoe to fall, like the walking on eggshells, or however you want to call it. That's what it's like. You're always like that. And so there's the problem is that it's coming at some point. The fertilizer is going to hit the ventilator, and there's going to be an issue. When is it coming? And so you live like that all the time. We've lived like that for a decade, and increasingly more. Thank you for the lurk, appreciate it. And increasingly more, right? Like that's just life. And then to come home the first week, like she came home and everything was great. And then afterwards, my son and I were exhausted, just like for no reason, because nothing bad happened. And we had fun, and it was really good. We played cards, we had food. Then she went back, no problem. But like he's a mess. I'm exhausted. And like, what was that? It was basically like we were just kind of holding for a while, trying to make sure, and then all of a sudden, when nothing happened, you let go of your muscles are sore. Why are your muscles sore? Because you were clenched for 12 hours. But it's been really positive. It's been cool. She said some stuff to me that was really, 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 really good. Writing notes to the family and whatnot. Like I think my favorite thing that she said to me so far, and I'm not telling tales outside, and this is totally fine. Nothing. It's good for me, but really not. It's not that big a deal. But it's to you, I mean, it's a big deal for me. She said in one of her notes, I couldn't hear what you were saying, the encouraging stuff, the supportive stuff, the helpful things that you were trying to do and say. I couldn't hear it. And now I feel like I can, like looking back and what the things you said and the things you did were good. And of course, the mental health causes you to just return grief for any attempt. Nowhere good to go. And so that meant a lot to me. That was legitimately a big deal to hear. I was very excited about that. Yeah. Yes, and the program is crazy, dude. Like crazy. It's freaking so much work. They keep her going nonstop, 7 days a week. So it's good. Really, really good. Okay, that's my brief little update. And now I will scroll up a little bit and see what that question was and do my best with it. All right, King Swag says, how would you teach an adult Sunday school lesson on Judges 19? We're covering it in Sunday school next week. My teacher has asked some of the guys in the class to go over to his house tonight and have a casual conversation about the chapter. Chapter with Levite and the concubine. I'm going to have to remind myself of that story. It's been a little while. Let me take a look. Let's look at it together, shall we? You're excited for today. How come? What's going on? Why are you so happy? What gives you the right to be so happy? Rep. Oop, that's too far. Okay, you said Judges 19. My answer might be, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. School field trip. Hopefully the weather can be okay and sunny. Oh, you're doing another trip, man. Good for you. You guys are always on the move. Like always on the move. You just came back from that big comforting place. The you know. Are you going outside? Okay. It says, yeah, Century Room. Yeah. In those days when there was no king in Israel, a certain Levite was sojourning in the remote parts of the hill country of Ephraim, who took to himself a concubine from Bethlehem in Judah. And his concubine was unfaithful to him. And she went away from her father's house at Bethlehem in Judah and was there for some 4 months. Then her husband arose and went after her to speak kindly to her and bring her back. He had with him his servant and a couple of donkeys, and she brought him into her father's house. And when the girl's father saw him, he came with joy to meet him. And his father-in-law, the girl's father, made him stay and remained with him 3 days. So they ate and drank and spent the night there. And on the 4th day, they arose early in the morning, and he prepared to go. But the girl's father said to his son-in-law, strengthen your heart with a morsel of bread, and after that you may go. So the two of them sat and ate and drank together. And the girl's father said to the man, be pleased to spend the night, and let your heart be merry. And when the man rose up to go, his father-in-law pressed him till he spent the night there again. And on the 5th day, he arose early in the morning to depart. And the girl's father said, strengthen your heart and wait until the day declines. So they ate both of them. And when the man and his concubine and his servant rose up to depart, his father-in-law, the girl's father, said to him, behold, now the day has waned toward evening. Please spend the night. Behold, the day draws to its close. Lodge here and let your heart be merry. And tomorrow you shall rise early in the morning for your journey and go home. So far, going home has been a difficult thing. But the man would not spend the night. He rose up and he departed and arrived opposite Jebus, that is Jerusalem. He had with him a couple of saddle donkeys, and his concubine was with him. When they were near Jebus, I can't help but think of the Simpsons reference. Crazy, man. When they were near Jebus, the day was nearly over, and the servant said to the master, come now, let us turn aside to the city of the Jebusites and spend the night with it. And the master said to him, we will not turn aside into the city of foreigners who do not belong to the people of Israel, but we will pass to Gibeah. And he said to his young man, come and let us draw near to one of those places and spend the night at Gibeah or at Ramah. So they passed on and went their way. And the sun went down on them near Gibeah, which belongs to Benjamin. And they turned aside there to go in to spend the night in Gibeah. And he went in and sat down in the open square of the city, for no one took them into his house to spend the night. And behold, an old man was coming from his work in the field at evening. The man was from the hill country of Ephraim, and he was sojourning in Gibeah. The men of the place were Benjaminites, and he lifted up his eyes and saw the traveler in the square of the city. And the old man said, where are you going, and where do you come from? And he said to him, we are passing from Bethlehem in Judah to the remote parts of the hills country of Ephraim, from which I come. I went to Bethlehem in Judah, and I am going to the house of the Lord. But no one has taken me into his house. We have straw and feed for our donkeys, with bread and wine for me. We have straw and feed for our donkeys, with bread and wine for me, and your female servant and the young man with your servants. There's no lack of anything. And the old man said, peace be with you. I will care for all your wants. only do not spend a night in the square. So he brought him into his house and gave the donkeys feed, and they washed their feet and ate and drank. All right, so far so good. So far, like what I see, you look at it and you see a guy who is getting the most amount of hospitality possible. Like he's been hospitalityed so hard that he couldn't possibly leave. All right, that's the first part. Maybe you could accuse him of having bad self-control and being like, I gotta go. But like things back then were a lot more. It was a lot more offensive to say no. You know what I mean? It was a lot more offensive to say no, especially to like father-in-law kind of thing. It was not good. So he stayed for as long as he had to kind of thing. And he's like, no, I gotta go. So and then he gets to, so it gets to somewhere, and all of a sudden you have him coming into the people of God, right? So hold on, where does he appear? Certain country, Ephraim, took him to compromise. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, in Bethlehem and Judah. Okay, so it's still an Israelite. So an Israelite was giving him great care, and then he went to Gibeah, which was he's like, I'm not going to go to the Gentiles. I'm going to go to another one of our brothers. I'm going to go to a Jewish town. Gets there, and they don't have any. Right? Yes, I know. Where are you going? The Minnesotan goodbye. Oh, that's funny. Okay, cool. That's so far so good. Yeah, he gets into this place, and all of a sudden he doesn't get any hospitality. He's like, I don't need anything. I have straw, and I can feed my own thing. I got my own bread. I got my own wine. I'm good. Like, I don't need to. I'm not trying to take anybody's stuff. I just need somewhere to sleep. And so he finds somebody who gets him. So he brought him into his house and gave the donkeys feed, and they washed their feet and ate and drank. All right, you typed it up. Hold on. School field trip. Yep. Last trip of the year, I'm going to the hot springs. Oh, sick. But I was going to wake up at 6 a.m. Nah. And I'm meant to go to school for 7:30 for the trip. Oh, dude. Yeah, no, I thought you might have been early. Well, good. Hot springs, man. Let's roll. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's keep going. So we've gotten to the place where now he's in Gibeah, and he found one dude, to hang out with him. We'll keep going. It says, as they were making their hearts merry, behold, the men of the city, worthless fellows, surrounded the house, beating on the door. And they said to the old man, the master of the house, bring out the man who came into your house, that we may know him. And that means we want to have sex with your guy. And the man, the master of the house, went out to them and said to them, no, my brothers, do not act so wickedly, since this man has come into my house. Do not do this vile thing. No. No. That's gross. And also that's bad. Behold, here are my virgin daughter and his concubine. Let me bring them out to you now. Violate them and do what seems good to you, but against this man do not do this outrageous thing. So that's not like quote unquote anti-gay. I am getting a new PC. Yes, I've got it in a box upstairs. I just have to set it up soon. Yeah. Thank you for saying hello, Duck. I hope you have a great day. Take care of yourself. Stay in that water and get relaxed. Enjoy your time. Hang out with your friends. Flash a little bit, not too much, and get kicked out. Have fun. Have fun. Yeah, last stream on this PC. Yep. Saying hi, so I count as a viewer, right? Yeah, brutal and dumb. Thank you. So, that's bad. So this isn't anti-homosexuality. It's like, oh, you shouldn't be gay. Here, go, hurt these ladies instead. It is. These guys were threatening, right? They were threatening to kill, and his response to send out the virgin daughter and the concubine was also evil, right? Speedos or t-shirt and shorts? Dude, t-shirt and shorts all the way. Yeah, I wear a sweater and pants when I go swimming. Nobody can see nothing. Yeah, so that's also bad, right? So we have the evil of the environment matched by the evil of the person who lives in the environment, right? Remember, it's the guy, so he's not the greatest guy ever either. And so, no, I refuse to do Speedos. So he he's also doing his thing. He's also being a bad hospitality. His hospitality evil is against the women, which is also bad. Violate them and do what you want. Don't do this outrageous thing. But the men would not listen to him. So the man seized his concubine and made her go out to them. And they knew her and abused her all night until the morning. And as the dawn began to break, they let her go. See, that was also evil. That was also bad. And as the morning appeared, the woman came and fell down at the door of the man's house where her master was until it was night, right? The man sees his concubine. So this isn't the bad guy, okay? This isn't the guy who's hosting. This is the guy who was shown hospitality from before. This is the guy who his concubine left him. He cared about her, right? Enough. Because it says right at the very beginning of the story, there's no king, no sort of. Certain Levite was sojourning in the remote parts of the hill country of Ephraim, who took himself a concubine from Bethlehem in Judah, and his concubine was unfaithful to him, and she went away from him to her father's house at Bethlehem in Judah, and was there for some 4 months. Then her husband arose and went after her to speak kindly to her and bring her back. So she messed up. She did some bad stuff. Yes, please. Yeah, send us some of the area. I'd love to see the little town. Yeah, that'd be great. So he's like, okay, either I miss her or whatever. He went to speak kindly to her, as in, I want to bring you back, and let's reconcile. She did the bad thing, so concubine did a bad thing, and then he went to get her, which is a kind thing. The father-in-law was clearly a good guy and was trying his best to kind of smooth it all over, and to thank you for coming to get my daughter, who completely screwed this up and could absolutely be killed right now because she was unfaithful, and according to our law she could completely just be killed right now by you, but you are not doing that, and you are you're coming to get her. Thank you for doing that. Let's party a little bit. So at the end here, you have the man seizing his concubine, so that's him, the one he went and traveled to. I would love to, St. Bear. Name the time, name the place. I'll be there, my man. I'll be there, my man. I'll be there. I love it. You are my third podcast invitation today, which I think is hilarious how God does that. Like, I'm having a pretty good day today, and I'm going to set up my new computer, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, want to be on a podcast? Yes, I do. Yep. Noon to 3 on a Sunday. Yeah, I can set aside time for that. Mountain. What time is that in Eastern time? Is that 3 to 6? I think it is. So that's even better. Then I can go to church and come back home and have lunch. 2 hours behind. Okay, well, that's still, yeah, that's great. Yeah, hit me up on email or through DM. Tell me when you want to do it, and I can make time. I have no plans on Sundays. So I usually keep that set aside, but if that's the only time you record and you can't bend it, then, I'd love to be part of it. Yeah, thanks, man. So the man sees his concubine, also bad. Remember, this is sin upon sin upon sin upon sin. So concubine sin, guy goes to reconcile, father-in-law does his best, leaves. The environment that he goes to sinned against him with lack of hospitality, which, by the way, this is very much Sodom and Gomorrah. This is the same story as Sodom and Gomorrah. Like, if you recall the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, you have coming into town, all of a sudden, lack of hospitality, send out your man, we don't want to, sends out his 2 daughters at that point, and they do bad stuff, and it was it's the same thing. And that, that place got wiped off the map. It was completely destroyed. Not because of their lack of hospitality, but because that was like sort of the straw that broke the camel's back, right? It was because when Lot, or when Abraham was like, hey, what, you don't destroy them, like surely there's some good people there, and God's like, yeah. So he went and he got Lot out, and everybody else was like evil and bad and deserving of punishment. So it's very 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 parallel to Sodom and Gomorrah, which obviously is a demonstration of how bad this place was. This is a bad place. How bad? Well, it was Sodom and Gomorrah bad. That's how bad. And so he, in this environment, seized his concubine and made her go out to them, right? That was bad. And they let her go, and morning appeared. The woman came and fell down at the door of the man's house where her master was until it was light, which I can't imagine how horrible that was for the woman. right? Part of it, you know, like I would imagine that there's some people who would read this and go, well, she got herself in this situation, right? She's the one who was unfaithful. She's the one who ran away. She didn't have to do that. But that, to me, that's very much the same accusation that we have of today's modern thing. Like, well, she shouldn't have been down that dark alley. Did you see what she was wearing? Which is victim, you know, that's blaming the victim, which is bad. And in the same way, her, regardless of where she was and what she was doing, evil was committed against her, right? Well, the fact she's a concubine, which means that, yeah, she's not, you know, the head wife kind of thing, the top of the pack. Ransom says, seems to be the parallel of Sodom and Gomorrah is intentional. Well, yeah, kind of on the nose. It's almost mirror. They were wicked. This kind of behavior might be expected from them, but Judges 19 is about the people of God. They become just as bad because the death of Joshua and the Israelites became lost. You know what? That's a good point. And you're totally right. When it starts here, the no king in Israel, you know, there's a Levite who's a priest, by the way, you know, part of the priesthood, right? And so, yeah, how bad had things gotten, right? How bad had things gotten? Well, they got Sodom and Gomorrah bad. That's how bad things had gotten. Was Israel was now acting like Sodom and Gomorrah. That is a very good point. Absolutely correct. Where are we at? Okay. And her master rose up in the morning, and when he opened the door of the house and went out to go his way, behold, there was his concubine lying at the door of his house with her hands on the threshold. That means something, and I can't remember what it is. I remember hearing about that. What is that? That means something. I think that's a request for salvation, or request for hospitality, or something. Their hands on the threshold is sort of you were supposed to take care of me. I should Google that before I say anything. Not Psalm 19. That was dumb. It's not found in Leviticus 19. It is, though. I saw it right there. Her hands on the threshold. Okay, hold on. Where's that? There. Okay. Okay, when the man opened the door in the morning, the mob had departed. The concubine's dead body lay in the doorway of the house with her hands on the threshold. Is she dead? Did I miss something? I know, right? Thanks, AI. There was his concubine lying at the door of the house, her hands on the threshold. Yeah, I didn't pick up that she was dead, but she is dead. Okay, there you go. That's what that means. Okay. He said to her, "Get up and let's be going," but there was no answer. Oh, she already came. She died. Yeah, I had to read one step further. Yeah. Then he put her on a donkey. The man rose up and went to his way home. And then when he entered his house, he took a knife, taking hold of his concubine. He divided her limb by limb to 12 pieces and sent her throughout the territory of Israel. And all who saw it said, such thing has never happened or been seen from the day that the people of Israel came up out of the land of Egypt to this day. Consider it, take counsel, and speak. Yeah, that's pretty horrible. Yeah, it's well, and that's actually one of the proofs for the veracity or the truthfulness or the you know that it is God's word, is that you're like, man, if I was writing a book about God and his people, I wouldn't have put that in the you know it's but it's there. I think, you know, like I think we should read this next article to kind of talk about it, because I really like gotquestions.org. It's one of my favorite websites. They usually knock it out of the park. But I think to Ransom's point, this whole thing is just a demonstration of how terrible things are, right, in Israel. It's just everything is bad. It's, you know, like our people are like Sodom and Gomorrah. They're doing horrible stuff. They're not showing care. They're not showing any kind of concern for the guests. And then this is how they're treating people. Like this is illegal. Like the whole, you can do whatever you want with your slave stuff. That's not in scripture. That's not how it works. You were supposed to take care of your people. You really are. And though she did cheat, and she would have, by the law, been, because she committed adultery, she could have been killed for it. That's also bad. But she wasn't. She was treated kindly. So I think the first part of the story, which is really interesting, kind of paints a picture of good. We got good. We have a woman who makes a mistake, but a kind man going to her dad, and they have a good time, and it's all very good. And then we enter into the rest of the story. In fact, Judah, like the fact that he's in Judah, right? He's in Bethlehem in Judah. Judah was always the faithful, right? They were the ones who didn't fall apart, right? It's been a while. They're the ones who didn't go completely crazy and lose all their, get all the horribleness. It was, yeah. So that things are bad. I want to read this and see what it says, because I really like this. What do we do here? Ooh, that's too much. Too big. The concluding chapters of Judges highlight the fact that everyone did what was right in his own eyes, one of the stories that demonstrate the chaos and lawlessness of the time, and the account of the Levite and his concubine, which begins in Judges 19. Yeah. Did I say Leviticus? I meant Judges. Yeah, so Judges, yeah, there's no kings and whatever. How bad had things gotten? And, at the end, like, things are really, really, really bad. Story that demonstrates the lawlessness of the times, the account of the Levite and the concubine. The Levite had a concubine who had run away, been unfaithful. From the very start, there's a problem of Levite, the priestly tribe, having a concubine. Yeah, my brain was like, I don't think Levites are supposed to have concubines, but I didn't want to say that out loud. But yeah, that also is a problem. So, it's like, so there was this pastor who was hanging out with his favorite, prostitute, who he had brought into his home to hang out with his wife, who she took off. She committed adultery, and like that. Yes, it's already bad. That's already bad. The Levite found his concubines back at her parents' home. As the Levite was bringing the concubine back to his own home, he stopped for the night in Gibeah, the town of the Benjamites. An older man insisted for safety that the Levite and his concubine stay at his home instead of the town square. That night, some of the wicked men from the city around the house, pounding on the door, they shouted to the old man who owned the house, "Bring out the man who came to your house so that we can have sex with him." At least, boom, straight up, yeah. The host tried to reason with them, but would not listen. To spare himself, the Levite sent his concubine outside. The degenerate mob abused her all night. When the man opened the door in the morning, the mob had departed, and the concubine's dead body lay in the doorway of the house with her hands on the threshold. Which is a very sad picture. Like, that is a really sad picture. Her sort of clawing at the door to try to get in, right? And then she died trying to come home. That's really sad. Like, it should break your heart. The Levite picked up the concubine's body, placed it on his donkey, traveled home, cut her body into 12 pieces, one for each tribe of Israel, and then sent the pieces throughout the land. The macabre packages provoked the intended response. Everyone who learned of this crime began saying, "Such a thing has never been done, seen or done, not since the day the Israelites came out of Egypt. Just imagine, we must do something, so speak up." Like, things are really bad, which you knew, right? All the way through the story of Judges, right from the very beginning. And then, Joshua died, and then everyone lost their mind. And every generation, they'd forget that God exists. They'd forget who God was. They'd forget what the previous generation said. They wouldn't pass along the stories, and then they'd all get in trouble, conquered, mess up badly, and then God would send yet another judge, repeat, right? But meanwhile, they're spiraling, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. Concubine made it to the boundary between danger and safety and died there, so close to rescue, finally abandoned, behind a closed door. Right? Like, you could almost imply, and it doesn't say, but you could almost imply that she had gotten there and at least she made some noise. Please let me in, right? But what you don't see here is the people of God that were in that room praying. The priest, right? He neither invokes his authority, nor does he ask God, because that should be the response, right? That should be, the priest would go, what you are doing is against the law. God is not happy with you. Should you do this, you're going to be punished by God. Back off, right? Didn't do that. He didn't, God, provide a way out of this, help me out. Instead, he takes salvation into his own hands, and he does something terrible to someone he clearly cares about, right? He'd show her kindness. And he does something terrible to her out of fear. God doesn't enter the equation at any point. And you can, how far gone are they, right? That all the bad things are happening. But even the one who should have been knowledgeable of God's presence and the law and the way that God would be able to enter into the situation isn't even thinking that way. Often, one of the applications that I can kind of feel is there's a lot of people who talk about how sort of the old story or the old ethical thing, like if you were in Nazi Germany and there were Jews in your walls, what would you do, kind of thing? Would you lie, right? And lying is against the scripture, lying is against the 10 commandments. You shouldn't lie, period, right? Not supposed to lie. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that is happening beforehand to get you to that place. But what doesn't get factored in usually into that thought is the fact that God can bring salvation. God can work through stuff. God can do amazing things, right? God, they're like, Peter gets sent to prison, and they're like, God, and then he just delivers him. Come on in, it's God does grant deliverance. God does grant. You look at the story of, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These guys who are standing in front of the most powerful man in the world, who's also somehow nuts, and you won't worship him. And he's like, well, we're not going to worship you, and you can throw us into the fire, and either God will deliver us or he won't, right? Those are held up as heroes of the story. Is that I'm not going to break the law. I'm not going to do a bad thing. I'm not going to hurt people. I'm not going to worship what I shouldn't. I'm going to follow God's law. The whole story of Daniel is they were, told, go and eat this stuff so that you can get strong, so that you can become a better, servant to the king. And they're like, well, we can't eat that. We're Jewish, so we can't eat that whole section. We'll live on vegetables. And the guy's like, no, you will not, right? You won't live on vegetables. And he's like, just let us try for a little while. We'll show you. And as they do, as they, are faithful to God, they are strong. The other one, they become the strongest. And when presented with faithfulness or faithlessness, in Daniel's case, it was prayer, right? You're not allowed to pray. Well, I'm going to pray anyway, like it or not, because I will pray to God. This is what I'm supposed to do. And he went up, he got caught, he got thrown in the lion's den. That whole story, Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, was about God coming into extreme situations and trusting that he will either deliver or not. And he could have been eaten by the wolf, or by the lions, and still would have been doing the right thing. And here, God doesn't enter in at all, right? The Levites got a relationship he shouldn't have because he didn't care what the law said. He is, hanging out in a place where nobody seems to give two hoots about what God has to say. And then when the situation gets really, really dire, he at no point goes, hey, God, can you help? Doesn't. Instead, he takes it into his own hands and does an extreme sinful thing, which how many of us have gotten to the place where we need something, we require help, we're in jeopardy, and instead of pausing and praying, instead of going, okay, God, what are you going to do? How are you going to deliver me? What's going to happen now? I trust you. We do something rash, right? We get the credit card and we just go into debt, or we yell at somebody and kind of curse them out because they did something, so you feel better about yourself, or you try to control the situation, or you just throw up your hands and leave, or you do something extreme and hurtful and ungodly to someone or to the situation or whatever, or to yourself, because you didn't give margin for God to deliver. It didn't even cross your mind. Like there's a sort of an inherent faithlessness in going, God, I need help. No, and they talk about how when you're preaching, you shouldn't use yourself as a positive example, right, all the time. And I don't mean to. I'm not trying to be a, hey, look at how awesome I am. But like with the PC, right, with this computer, I've been talking about getting a new computer for ages. I don't know what to do, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. God, how are you gonna deliver me? I need it. I couldn't even stream on Thursday. I really need it. And so, but I look at the account and I am broke. I'm so friggin' broke. Where did all the money go? And I started looking into my finances and looking into where things were and where they were supposed to be and whatnot, and discovered, I'd forgotten a lot of stuff that was kind of owed and I was able to, bring in. And then I'm like, okay, so that brought the savings back up to where it was, right? By God's grace, I haven't lost any savings since Anita going in there, right? That cost $1 zillion, but it was $1 zillion that was donated. It didn't come out of my savings. It was donated. So, praise God, I didn't lose any money from all that awesomeness happening. Well, I'm still at the same place where I can't afford a computer, and now I'm in trouble. And so it was either run out and do something or go, God, how are you going to provide? I don't know how you're going to provide. And I get a call from, the church being like, hey, I'm going to come by on Monday and I'm going to bring you help. I didn't ask for it. I didn't tell them anything. They've read some of my articles or whatever. I didn't like, hey, can you give me money? I didn't at all. I've sat and talked to him about ministry, right? Sit and talk to him about, let's partnership in ways that we can kind of bring digital ministry into the church and whatnot. But I didn't say, hey man, I need funds. He knows some stuff, but obviously I didn't ask. And he just like, okay, the church has decided it's going to help. So I went and, I went to the store and I'm like, okay, I don't have enough money for a new computer. I can't build a new computer. I'm just going to hold my breath, assemble a new computer, and just think it'll be okay. I need a very specific computer, right? It needs to have a good power supply, but also not have a video card. And if you go ahead, I defy you, go shopping, find a integrated graphics card system, a business system that has anything over like 300 watts. Most of them are 225 or 300, which isn't enough if you want to put a video card in. And I'm like, so here's this impossible thing that I want. And he comes back and he goes, well, actually we have one and we built it specifically for this purpose. Do you want it? And I'm like, well, I recovered all the money to get to my savings. I have someone who's going to be coming to give me money that came out of nowhere, specifically to help me and my family. And this computer is sitting right in front of me, the thing that I've been asking and praying for the last forever. Yes. Boop. Take it, bring it home. And to me, that's the provision of God. And I've said this all along, is that since, day one, when presented with these choices of how are you going to do it? What are you going to do? Here's a problem. You can either take it into your own hands and then say, hey, God, can you forgive me and solve my problem and fill in the hole I just dug for myself? Or you can say, hey, I have this need, God. I don't know how you're going to solve it, but I'm going to wait for you to solve it because I trust that you are my provider. So I'm just going to wait, right? And you give him the ability to act. That's something you don't see here, right? Actually, let me ask chat. Y'all are Christians. So tell me a story or tell me a time where you had a choice between running out and solving your own problem, and you had the instinct, like, I'm going to go, get a line of credit, or I'm going to go, take this into my own hands, or I'm going to go control that situation or whatever. And you chose not to ask God and just simply said, God, I don't know how you're going to provide, but I need you to provide. Here I am. I'm waiting. And then God showed up. Does anybody else have a story like that? I'd love to hear. So like I said, based on the previous story of Micah 7-18, we could also reasonably infer that the Levite was not a faithful priest. Some of the Levites were practicing polytheism and worshiping multiple gods. Well, that's the story of Judges, right? That's the whole. Well, yeah, I mean, Hannah's got a great choice, right? Waiting for a new computer, and then just out of nowhere, all of a sudden, goes viral be able to help out. Well, yeah, because you were in a place where it's like even the house finances are in jeopardy kind of thing. And, you know, how am I going to pay for this? And I think your mom had something going on. Like, you had a lot of needs. And then all of a sudden those needs are provided for. I'd imagine it was a temptation for you to go, well, I'm going to, you know, buy a new thingy. But you knew that it was, yeah, that's it, right? Once you paid your bills and whatnot, that was the grace. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'd love to hear another story if anybody has one. Yeah. So, but like, that's the story of Judges. They lose their marbles and they just get worse and worse. And God goes in and he grabs like the one guy who's listening. Everybody else is worshiping other gods and trying to partner with pagans and terrified out of their mind and just being dumb. And the priests who should have known better didn't. Right? You see that all the way through. You look at Isaiah, right? Like, I always think of that passage where God says, you know, like, why are you trampling in my courts? Who invited you here? And he's talking to Israel. Like, why are you in the temple? Why are you coming to Jerusalem? Or why are you coming to my tabernacle? Why are you here? Why are you here? Who invited you? And the response of that God says to them that you can hear that they said was basically, well, we're here to put in our minutes to do the required religious thing, so you give us stuff. Like, we couldn't care less about you or about worship or about anything here. We don't care anything about each other, but we know that if we don't come to church and do the thing, that somehow God doesn't like us. So we're doing it here. And God's like, I don't want that. I don't want you to go through the motions. I don't want you to show up and just decide that you're going to perform religious activity to try to invoke me like I'm some kind of pagan god. No, get out of here. You know, you guys don't take care of each other. So therefore I'm not going to return in kind, because you're not following anything that I've said except for this worship thing, which doesn't count. Even Jesus says, if you know that somebody has something against you, leave your gift at the altar, go deal with that. It's like, I don't want your worship until you're at peace with the people that you need to be at peace with. Don't even come to church. Don't even come to temple. Don't even give an offering until you have figured out your relationships with others, because that's important. It's critically important. And then so if that's God's priority, how bad is what we're seeing here? Ukulele says, we just spent a month not driving because it was throwing weird errors, and it turned out to be a bad battery because new cars, computers are jerks. Right. Your entire car is destroyed. Are you sure you just don't have enough voltage? No, it's the entire car. Everything else is the problem. Well, how about we just change the battery? God knew we didn't need another car. How did you diagnose it? Did someone just go, hey, you need a new battery? Or did you just decide to put that in? Banana Santa says, like, I went viral and was able to pay bills and able to take care of my mom. Then my laptop starts dying. Do I use the funds to buy a new PC and risk not being able to pay other bills? Or do I trust God and do my best until I can get a new PC? Right, exactly. Right, so what did you pray for? Right, God, I'm in trouble. My mom is in trouble and I don't have enough money to pay my bills or, eat. Could you please provide? God's like, here, have that. And now the temptation comes, well, what if I spend this money on not that? What if I get a new computer with it? Will God give me the money again to be able to pay my bills? Right? I think the answer would be no. He gave you that money to take care of your needs. And if you have another need, ask for that, because you already can trust that he's doing it. Right? That temptation would be very real, though. Nothing finance related, but I kept praying for a church to go to. And one day I randomly ran into a college buddy who told me he moved to town the previous year to be a worship pastor. I visited the next Sunday and they haven't been able to get rid of me since. I could have tried to force myself to fit at other churches and did visit many churches, but I trusted and prayed that God would bring me where he wanted me. And it comes out of nowhere. A lot of the stuff that I found anyway God's answer to prayer comes from, the side places you haven't thought of before. Kind of comes out of nowhere. Yeah, cool. We eventually decided to spend money to have it towed and diagnosed. Okay. Oh, sorry, dysgnosed. Lord, I know you're able to do the impossible, so I'm trusting you. Then I went viral. Computer says, it's been 84 years, right? Yeah. Yep. I mean, it's to me anyway. I mean, I don't want to put words in God's mouth, and I don't want to assume anything. But like, it's a test, right? God is it feels like it anyway. It feels like there's a test there of going, do you believe I can do this again? Keep kind of going in here. The tribes of Israel, minus Benjamin, came together and decided to have the men who raped and murdered the Levite's concubine put to death. But when they confronted the people of Benjamin, the Benjaminites chose to protect the guilty parties and refused to turn them over for justice. We haven't got that far yet. Civil war erupted, and a tribe of Benjamin was eventually defeated, but all 600 of the Benjamins were killed. Which is, again, right? If you want the overarching question, how bad is it in Israel right now? Pretty bad. They just killed one of their own tribes, right? Because they were housing the worst people ever. Judges 21 records the aftermath of the war of the Levite and his concubine. After the period of mourning, the leaders of the other 11 tribes sought to find a way to keep the tribe of Benjamin alive. Their solution was to punish the city of Jabesh Gilead, who did not respond to the call to gather against the Benjaminites. The punishment was that the 600 Benjaminite men were allowed to steal young women from Jabesh Gilead to take as their wives. They were able to find 400 young women there, and the rest of their wives they stole from Shiloh. Also bad, okay? It's one of the accusations that's often brought against the scriptures is, wow, God sure does allow some horrible stuff to happen. Look what happened. No, that is not the story. It wasn't that God went, okay, go steal wives from there. That's okay. Nope. Do you see anywhere where, God is saying it's a good idea? No. They just went, it's like, well, how can we solve this problem? Probably more sin, right? Would more sin do it? Yeah, let's try that. So we're going to go sin some more. Well, that made things worse. Good gravy. What should we do now? I think maybe we should try sinning some more. Okay, let's try that. Wow, okay, all right. But now, this time for sure, I'm sure that if we just sin some more, we'll have fixed all of our problems. And then it didn't work. I mean, we can't put, you can point one finger, but there's always three pointing back. And how many times have we been given a warning, consequences of our actions, and then we have the opportunity to change, right? Think of, say old dudes who have a heart attack, right? They were told by their doctor for 20 years, dude, get right, fix yourself, you're gonna die, man. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, a heart attack. Blah! Now they're messed up, they can't function properly, they, their medications and whatnot, they feel like crap, like, oh, I guess I better change my behavior. Right? They were given warnings well in advance. In the same way a lot of us are, right? A lot of us are given warnings in advance. We see bad stuff, but we compound our sin with more sin, hoping that the more sin is going to be the thing that fixes us. Never is. Okay. The grotesque and alarming series of events concludes with the fitting words, Judges 21:25. In those days, Israel had no king. Everyone did as they saw fit. Readers reeling from the immoral activities of these closing chapters of Judges can take some comfort in the fact that Scripture clearly condemns these activities. Crimes such as befell the Levite's concubine, or what happens when law is spurned and everyone does as he sees fit. Yeah, bad stuff. Praise God for Jesus, and for His grace, because we're not any better. I think it's so important for us to remember that we are not better people than the Israelites, somehow thinking that we are so enlightened. We do the same thing. We do the exact same thing. Question is, how do you do it? In what way right now? Like if you want to grab an application, like in what way right now? What's before you that you need, or before you that's an issue, or a relationship problem, or I don't know, something, any kind of need, any kind of thing that's in front of you that's a problem, either that you got yourself into or that was thrust upon you. Somebody did something to you and now you have to deal with it, or you were dumb, or you something, whatever, and you did it to yourself and now you got a problem. The temptation, the thing that comes in, is going to be either to double down on your own pride, or your own, that you can get out of it, or that you can wiggle your way out. Because, and sometimes, and nobody wants to say this aloud, but if I ask God to do it, he's not going to do it quickly. He's not quick enough for me. And when he does it, it's going to require me to humble myself, and I'm probably going to end up having to tell people what I did and what I need, and that's going to be embarrassing. And then I'm going to have to talk to people who I don't want to talk about, because they're probably right, and they're going to say some stuff to me that I don't want to hear, and all that I don't want to do. So I'm going to try solving it myself. And yet God is inviting and going, yeah, but you need all that stuff, right? You need a good talking to. You need to tell people. You need to confess your sins. That's the only way you're going to get free. That's the only way you're going to feel absolved. That's the only way you're going to get help. That's what you have to do, and yet at the same time, we keep doubling down. Haha, look how prideful those guys were. Oh wait, so am I. Yeah, and that it's important. Yeah, it's important to see it, partly, to recognize that we're not any better. We are good at justifying why we do what we do, right? Like, why did you overspend? Because I needed it. Did you though? Why did you break that relationship? Why is that relationship super broken right now? Well, because it's all their fault. Is it though? Right? Is it all their fault? Right? Why aren't you at the church that you were at before? Well, they're terrible and horrible and they're all bad people. Are they though? Are you sure? Right? There's so much that we're able to self-deceive and then push out on others. And I think one of the reasons that many of us don't pray or do devos or seek God or whatever is because he's going to tell us stuff we don't want to hear. Like, I know people who have said, I don't want to read the Bible. It makes me feel bad. And really, that means I feel a sense of conviction when I read the Bible, because I know I'm doing wrong things. And I don't want to change those wrong things. I don't want to fix them. I don't want to submit them to God. I don't want to ask for help. I don't want to admit that I do those things. And every time I read scripture, I feel like a hypocrite. And so therefore, I have a choice between either dealing with the stuff I'm doing wrong and doing it God's way and finding freedom through him, or just trying to ignore God's voice. And a lot of people just choose that. Right? And the Holy Spirit, the more you tell him to get lost, the more you tell him to stop convicting, the harder your conscience gets, the more seared, more like sensationless, more numb your conscience gets. And the thing is, as you tell God to get lost, and as your conscience gets more number, you start doing bad stuff that you don't even know is bad. You start making decisions that seem wise to you, seem godly to you, seem smart to you, seem like this is that God said that, but you don't recognize that you have actually seared your conscience so much. You have so thoroughly ignored God that you've now replaced his voice with your own, or with the enemy, or with something bad, and you don't know. That's true danger. That's true danger. You start attributing to God things that aren't him, because you can't hear the Holy Spirit anymore. You can't hear God anymore. Reminding me of people who may not want to go to church because they didn't feel good and because they were challenged, which I'd argue we need. I know I do, at least. Well, I know, yeah. I mean, I was a preacher for a really long time, and that was definitely one of the things, right? Is you had a choice between, what you said really got me, and I'm upset now because it's like you were reading my mail, and now I'm mad at you because you pointed some stuff out. I didn't. I just read the mail. Here's what the mail says, and then you took it that way. Or you got people who are like, well, you're not feeding me. You're not. I'm not coming to church anymore because you're not feeding me. I'm like, feeding you? I think what you mean is that I'm not placating you, right? Because the stuff that you're being given, the stuff that you've learned, the stuff that is there, you're not using, you're not doing. You're just fatter and fatter. I'm not entertaining you enough. That's not what you mean. Because the stuff that you've been given and the stuff over the last few years, all the stuff that I preached and all the stuff that I'm currently preaching, there's stuff there for you if you want it. But if it's not entertaining enough and it's not numbing you enough, then it's not for others so you can point at them and go, that one's for them, right? Then you end up feeling like you're not fed. It's the dumbest thing. All right. Thank you. Appreciate the work. Lurk. All right. Yeah, it's although, to be fair, some pastors, some preachers get off on offending people. It's their favorite thing in the world. And you shouldn't do that either, right? It's meant to be truth in love, meant to be salt and light, sort of absorbed and not and revelatory, not a hammer. Sometimes you gotta be more intense about it. But some people just get off and feel like God loves them more. if everybody hates their guts. If somebody has a picky appetite and only want to be fed certain things. Yeah. Well, and to add to that illustration, and is anemic, right? Like they're anemic. They're starving in some area of their life. They don't have enough iron, which they don't realize is affecting everything. They're colder and they don't have enough energy and their blood isn't working properly. Like they're a problem. What they need is more iron. That's what you need. You need more iron. Well, I don't like taking iron. I don't want to. I don't like meat. I don't like taking those, that medication or that pills or that vitamin or that, whatever. I just don't like it. I don't want to go get a shot for it either, right? I don't want that. Well, that's the solution, right? Like it or not, it's found in your spinach and some meat and in a supplement. You have to, otherwise your blood won't work anymore. Well, I don't like that. And how dare you tell me that my blah, 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 right? It's the same thing. You just kind of close yourself off. Or you do what most people do, and that's deflect and point, right? Yeah, but what about them? I mean, that person's overweight, right? They need to change all of their food. What does that have to do with anything? We're talking about you and your iron. Anyway, I'm gonna sit down. I appreciate the question. Thank you so much for taking the time to ask. I'm gonna sit. Where am I here? A little off to the side. Oh, there. That's better. Camera got moved somehow. All right. Well, the plan is now we're going to, unless anybody else wants to bring something up, we're going to be jumping into a game called Assemble with Care, which is a vibe, but at the same time, kind of thematic to what we're talking about, in that apparently it's about sort of letting go of things and the transient nature of stuff and how you need to let go of stuff so that you can, move on with life, or God provides stuff, and if you die, all your stuff's gone. So you may as well get your heart right. May as well, figure out your salvation, because having stuff isn't going to help. What does Christian have to do with it? Do with what? Hello, Jeepbot. What does Christian have to do with what? Before I jump into a game, we have a question from the audience. Strawberry kiwi Rogue, so freaking good, man. I don't care what your favorite flavor is, but they got something for you. Yeah, some of them aren't great, I'll admit. Not a huge fan of a few of them, but some are super tasty. Before, I want to let Jeet take a minute to explain the question. I just need to know what, kind of, I don't understand the question, so I want to make sure I respect that with an answer. What do you mean? Do with what? Yummy. But if not, I will slowly move towards changing the category. I missed some of the topic, but it was a great conversation. Oh yeah, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. How are you? Before I jump into this, how are you, man? You've had so much transition over the last few years. Where are you at? How's life? How's work? How's your parents? How's the cat? You still have the cat? You have to leave the cat behind to go to the parents? How are you? How's art? How was you did an anniversary stream recently? How was that? Did it go well? How's the streaming going? I know you got the best thumbnails in the business. Every time I look at your thumbnails, I'm like, man, those are good thumbnails. Golly. Are people showing up? Are you growing? I haven't seen your numbers lately. Where's my Kleenex? No cat? All right, no cat, bummer. Yes, new outfit reveal. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was cool. I would be back streaming regularly, praise God. Okay, good. Does that mean that work is kind of evened out and that you've got like a good schedule? You're not like losing your mind, feel like behind all the time? Focused on work, so not too much conversation. Oh, appreciate it. Thank you. God bless. I'm sorry. thanks for giving me the update. Appreciate that anyway. All right, let's launch. Since I don't think Jeetbot's getting back to me, let's launch the game and see what happens. I don't think I gave you the audio. AWC? Oh, assemble with care. Yeah, probably it. So, yeah, well, I wonder if that feeling will ever go away, right? Like, I feel behind. Well, are you just perpetually, is that a feeling? Maybe it's just a feeling. Sense of of general anxiety that keeps you motivated to keep going. I don't know. So this is the start. I haven't started yet. This is the very beginning of the game. So that means that they're gonna kick me off right away. That's fun. Kind of like it. That was loud, sorry. All right, I'm gonna need more mouse pad apparently. This is a bit bigger game. We can probably switch it out to this one now that I think about it, because yeah, why not? It's only 16:9 games. I've had a few 16:9 games that have been exclusively 16:9. Very fine. There you go. Bonk. Oh, hold on. There you go. The game best played with sound. Let me know how the audio is for you guys if you are not loud enough or whatever. That is training montage music. That is when you go to the back of the Wendy's and they're going to tell you how to use the deep fryer. So you work at Wendy's. Welcome.
After a year on the road, I thought I'd get tired of traveling. The endless clatter of railways, highways, and everything in between.
Yep.
But as my train pulled into the station at Bellariva, I felt every bit as excited as the first day of my journey. A whole year. It felt like a lifetime. The places I'd seen, the people I'd met,
The burgers
Of
I'd
course,
flipped.
the forgotten treasures I'd given a new lease of life along the way. I'm a restorer by trade. Bringing our most beloved possessions back to life is what I love to do. I'd been traveling for months, working my way from one town to the next, fixing everything from family heirlooms to VCRs.
Is that a job? Traveling thing fixer? If it is, that's cool. All right, I will turn it down a smidgen. You get a chance, the in-game voice needs to be louder. Yeah, I haven't seen a meat more menu yet. Once we get there, yes, I agree. They do it in every game. Every game, the music is too loud. Every game.
Bella Riva was my chance to take a break. Unfortunately, that would have to wait until after I'd unpacked.
Bella Riva, beautiful remake, revival? Beautiful revival, which kind of is on the nose for what the game's about. Oh, the menu was the coffee. My instincts are on par. Okay, there we go. How's that? Okay, good. Let's unpack. Oh man. Oh, there we go. I know how things work. Is it in 3D space? So can I right click? No, it's all left click.
Scrunchy? Practical and stylish.
Oh, I'm just plain old unpacking. All right.
The tools of my trade. No hope of restoring things without these. My parents took this after I made my first repair. Seems like a lifetime ago.
Is it still too loud? Balance isn't quite right, is it? Turn the music down. I usually have to turn it down to almost 50 for it to fit properly.
My favorite overalls. These will never go out of style. Looking forward to taking more close-ups of my fingers with this. I'll hand these out once I'm settled in. Fingers crossed they get me some work.
Cool. Oh, we got more stuff. Gee.
My
I
passport.
almost failed the first level.
Not many blank pages left now.
What's that?
I
Earrings?
saw a guitarist wearing these at a show once.
It is earrings.
Rock and roll repairwoman at your service.
Those are big too. Those are substantial. I can here, I'll turn it. I tried to put it where it said, remember that graphic we saw forever ago? I've got that in my mind for where things go. But clearly
I picked up these sunglasses on my last stop.
every game is
Hopefully
different.
I'm cool enough to
that's
pull them
loud.
off.
There. That feels like the right balance. Complete. Look at me. I'm great. Take a button, take a name.
Finally, I'd made it to Bella Riva. I'd come for the food festival, taking place in a few days' time. After living off TV dinners and instant ramen for the last few months, I was craving a decent meal.
It looks like guitar picks. Yes. Wow, they were huge though. Like my passport's like this, which means those are like almost half the size of a passport. Those are big. You can learn how to deep fry.
Of course,
It all
I'd need
comes
to earn
around.
enough money to pay for it, so I figured I'd head out the next day and find some work.
Sounds like a cool job.
My parents never wanted me to go. They wanted me to stay in their shop and have a simple, stationary life. I knew there was a world out there, beyond the four walls of our antique store, that I had to be a part of. I daydreamed constantly about the weird and wonderful places each of our antiques came from. I loved figuring out their stories, revealing the memories hidden beneath the screws and wires. My story in Bella Riva began with a little girl and a voice she was longing to hear.
All right. Sorry. Level 1. Oh, level 2. Lullaby.
It was my first morning in Bella Riva, and I couldn't wait to leave my hotel and explore. It was a quiet town.
Not staying in a
its
hostel.
Streets and alleyways basking peacefully in the hot morning sun.
So if she's in a hotel, that means that she's doing all right.
In the main square, meanwhile, preparations were underway for the festival in a few days' time. As I handed out my flyers, I wondered what the people of Bella Riva would need me to fix. So far, everything here seemed perfect.
No, I appreciate it, Samus. It's good. It's just, it's like, you almost have to take like a poll. How is it for everybody? But at least some, I need somebody who's been like, it's too loud, turn it down. I need that.
I was starting to worry I'd made a mistake when I felt someone tapping me on the back.
Hi, I'm Izzy. Do you know how to fix things?
Boy, did you pick the right person, Izzy. Well done.
It was a little girl, maybe 7 years old, who must have gotten hold of one of my flyers.
Oh, okay, that makes
She
more sense.
rummaged around in her backpack until she hauled out a battered red cassette deck.
My tape is broken and I can't make it work anymore. I tried to fix it myself, but there's this metal thing in the way. Can you try?
Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay, all right. First things first, we're gonna fix that. I know how to do. I know how we do.
Why did you do that?
Tape? What is tape? This is tape.
How did you do that? I didn't see.
Well, too bad, kiddo. Wow. Oh, that's fun. I'd like to put you away now. Okay, there we go. All right, let's bring this thing out. Probably got to give it a flip. Okay. How do I flip you over? We click. Oh, click on the side. Oh, that's hard to do. All right, neat. Whoa, calm down. I'll get these controls right eventually. Don't worry about it. All right, take that out. Put it over there.
Aha! Those batteries look like they need replacing. Luckily, I have some spares.
Carry your own batteries? Aren't you a nice person? I'm so used to working around in 3D space. Like back when I was doing 3D printing, there was kind of a universality to how you organize the 3D space, like where you up, down, left, right, and then right click, what that does, and scrolling and whatnot. This one here is a little bit different, and it's making my brain hurt. Okay. I think, is that it? That all I needed to do? Kid too dumb to change the batteries? Is that what happened here? Oh, the screw. Hold on. No. What? Oh, there. Screws up in the cup. All right. I forgot about that. You gotta do. Flip it over. Woo! Eject. Put in the tape. Close it. Push play. Push record over.
Will you dream a dream for me? If I sit by your side and hold you so tight. No.
Thank you. That's all I need.
When it finished, Izzy picked up the tape deck and tucked it carefully into her backpack.
Yeah, I have a different parenting style than Shepard does. I believe hers is called being kind. All right.
Thanks, Maria. You're the best person at fixing things ever.
No problem. Who was that singing? They're very good.
It's my mum. She's not here anymore.
Izzy trailed off. It was the kind of silence a cassette tape would never be enough to fill. When Izzy's friends called for her, she dug deep into her pockets, looking for something to pay me with. Eventually, she produced a grand total of a stick of gum, 3 mismatched buttons, and a yo-yo.
Take the yo-yo.
I usually preferred a check, but Izzy looked so serious, I wrote out a full receipt. She seemed like a happy kid, but beneath it all,
A little
her life had been shattered.
minor criticism is that the voice and the intelligence level of the kid and what they have in their pocket. This looks like an 11-year-old. You know what I mean? If this was more like a 3-year-old, I'd be on board. New PC next stream as a full-time computer nerd. Curious and excited. Yeah, yes. New PC should be. I mean, I make big promises, but that is the plan. I've got a new PC sitting in a box upstairs. It's pre-made. All I got to do is slam my 3060 into it, and then fire that bad boy up, install OBS, and then cry for like an hour, just an hour, because OBS is wrong and broken all the time. And then after that, should be fine. I'm not doing anything else to it. All it needs is NVIDIA app and OBS. That's its job.
A part I wouldn't be able to fix.
But I can't brag about the specs at all, because honestly, it's just the minimum I need to stream and be able to run Windows 11 and not be completely in trouble.
My first repair complete, I spent the rest of the day doing small jobs in and around the square.
It's also my first AMD processor. Never had one before. Always an Intel boy. In fact, I actually said to the sales guy, I'm like, okay, one of the reasons I didn't want to get this, or, you know, really considering not getting it, is because it's Ryzen. Like, am I old and just thinking that AMD doesn't work with OBS? And he looks at me like I'm just the oldest man ever, and he's like, yes, that is old people thinking. And I was a streamer, and it's fine. And I'm like, okay.
I was exhausted when I got back to my hotel and found a message
did have to
asking
change
me
a battery.
to make one more visit.
She did have to change 2 whole batteries. Obviously, you got to get back to the hotel and have a rest after that.
The address led me to a quaint little house, a stone's throw from the beach.
Shouldn't throw stones at
Bathed in
people's
the
houses.
evening light, it looked beautiful, in spite of its flaking paintwork and chipped tiles.
Actually, she fixes things. So she probably picks up stones and throws them and be like, hey, I noticed your window's broken. You want me to fix that too? That's right. Exactly. I knew exactly how to
The
do
front
that.
door was opened by a harried-looking man, still dressed from a long day at the office.
Are you Maria? My name's Joseph. I'm Isabel's father.
Hello.
I'm so sorry she bothered you this morning. Please, come in. I'd like to settle up properly.
On the mantelpiece, I saw the remains of a broken statue. Without thinking, I picked up a fragment.
I have no personal boundaries.
Ah, my father's statue. What's left of it, at least. Yet another way I'd have disappointed him.
Oh my word, these poor people. When I was in college, Android Studio didn't work properly at AMD's, so they fixed it a few years. Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, my brain is still back in like a long time ago, 2001 or something. This is the man who should have changed your batteries, right? What the heck? In fact, AMD is so far ahead of Intel now, means that they've been able to build up myself a fairly new PC recently using Intel parts that were stupidly cheap because everyone and their brothers switched to AMD. It definitely is weird what you're seeing NVIDIA do and what and Intel do and Windows do. It's like they had a little meeting and are like, how do we shoot ourselves in the foot? Just collectively, right? How do we do that? And Microsoft was like, well, what if we just made everybody in the world mad and then made them all buy new PCs or else, and then we take Xbox and we just ruin it? What if we just ruin Xbox? Like, they're just the worst. And the Intel is like, what if we change everything? Change all of our names so nobody understands what the heck we make anymore. And we're just gonna make it so that, sometimes they just either light on fire or they just are, just brick whole systems. What do that? And then NVIDIA, we're gonna put everything into AI, and then when it comes around to doing the video game stuff for actual consumers, we're gonna make our flagship stuff break, not work, not have good drivers, not, basically unusable for months, and then occasionally melt. Come on. I have a 600K. That was all $40. Dude. Yeah, it's a killer deal. I think I got a 7K. I don't know what I got in here. But yeah, dude, totally. What do I have? Nope. Nope, I did that wrong. That is the wrong thing. What do I have in here? Oh, 12.7. You got a 12.6. I got a 12.7. That's what it is. Yeah, I love it. It's been running tickety boo. Although it didn't work with OBS. Like my first solution to switching to not having to get a streaming computer was, I'll just run it all off of my beast here. It'll be fine. As soon as I install OBS on it, it was just destroyed. It didn't work at all. I don't know how people do it. So now I have my streaming PC just dedicated, gonna run all the stuff, and it should be happy. It'll be happy, right? Happy forever and no problems from now on. That's how it works, isn't it?
It survived 100 years in this family. But 5 minutes with Isabel, and do you think you can salvage it?
Unknowable chaos. Right? I saw somebody talking about Cthulhu, how you can't draw Cthulhu because the description in, from the author, I always think it's Oswald Chambers, or Sanders, whatever his name is. He just described what it didn't look like, apparently, in the book. All right.
Will you be able to see the glue afterwards? I don't want people seeing the cracks.
I know. Watching people's cracks is definitely bad. Okay. Where's your butt, sir? That looks suspiciously like, oh, it's an arm. Okay. This is the arm. Ta-da!
Is this glue really strong enough to hold everything together?
No. Please back off, sir. Can you just go to the other room and make me a tea? Jeepers. That's probably good, right? I'm just going to assume that was a very standard Klingon response. Oops, beyond silly. Oh no, barely system. Nailed it. Okay. Whoa, calm down there. When I use glue, I don't mess around. Now House of OBS Cthulhu waits streaming. Is there an actual language, or is it just kind of made up? I know he was. I know he was smart, but at the same time, I also know that he wasn't exactly popular. Wasn't he the one that he had to eat all of his success, or he lived off of his wife, his ex-wife, paid all his bills?
Sometimes I think my daughter should come with a warning label.
His butt's in the cup. Yeah, I noticed that. There we go. Ta-da! Yes, it's a foot on a rock. He's very epic in his epicness. Whee! And then I broke it again.
Thank you, Maria. It looks as perfect as it ever did. My father wanted me to make something of myself. he didn't have time for anything less.
Good golly. You've known me for 5 minutes.
As Joseph put the statue back on the shelf, it nudged against the family portrait stood proudly next to it.
Which immediately
So
broke.
he was Bellariva's mayor. And that was Izzy's mom. They must both miss her so much.
Holding a big sword. Hey, Quiz is bringing a big sword. We could totally pull that off. You're the mayor, man. You're doing fine.
Sorry, I'm a little tired. I've been working late getting things sorted for the festival. There's only a few days to go. Looks like I'll be working late. Again?
Lovecraft was almost unknown in his own time and was never able to support himself. Yeah, that I knew. Yeah. That, or at least that's what I think I remembered. Yeah. Is he bringing a bow? But he's got like 100 swords. He probably, well, he's driving, so he could bring his own swords. Although there is a policy. I don't know what it was. I saw on the Discord some kind of cosplay policy that they have. He wasn't happy that I released that video, man. Golly, I got my
When
wrist
I told my
legit
parents I
slapped.
wanted to leave, they always found an excuse to be busy, to avoid talking about it. I guess keeping themselves occupied was their way of pretending it wasn't happening. Joseph's work must have been taking up so much of his time. But maybe that was what he wanted. I just hoped he was finding enough time for Izzy, too.
Wasn't he like poor though, right? Like he literally just barely scraped by and he didn't have much. I think who's the other scary guy, the poet? There's an E. He also had, he wasn't appreciated in his own time either.
My second day in
Bright.
Bellariva dawned bright and clear. Another beautiful sunny morning. Walking into town, I passed cafes overflowing with customers cradling their morning coffees. I stopped, breathing in the smell of roasted coffee
Almost
beans
out of
and
HP
freshly
Lovecraft. Love
baked
it.
pastries. I was about to go inside when the owner of Carmen's, the cafe next door, stopped me.
Hello, Maria? Were you here yesterday handing out flyers? I have a job for you.
Her place was petite, tucked between its competitors as if hoping they wouldn't notice. Judging by the empty tables inside, though, her potential customers hadn't noticed it either.
What are we fixing?
It's a
The
bit
open
slow
sign?
today,
Probably
but
the
we're just
open
getting
sign.
started. I'm sure it'll pick up soon.
As Carmen chatted, she walked over to the counter and returned with an old rotary phone.
Okay.
At least I've got plenty of time
Petite.
to practice my recipe for the
Petite.
festival. It's a new
In
special I've
anglicized
been working
petite.
on. I was hoping to call
In
my
French,
sister
it's
for
petit.
some seasoning tips, but it won't connect.
Yeah.
Can you see if you can figure out what's wrong?
I think what's wrong is you need a new phone. But, nonetheless, we'll do our best here. Petite? No, it's petite. Petite. Yeah. All right. I don't know what the ball is. It's missing its ball. Oh, bell. That's probably the bell. All right. First things first. We'll take apart the screws.
Obviously, we'd normally be much busier than this.
All right. What? I get this. I get to. I click here, and then I drag my mouse across the table, and it's kind of fun. That is a fun mechanic. All right, we're just gonna remove that. Oh, okay.
You can fix it, can't you?
I don't know.
Can't afford to replace it.
I think you need to go. Oh, okay. I've completely broken this thing. I'm sorry. Petit. Well, petit is the yeah. C'est français. Petit chien. Un petit chien. I guess I talked to too many people who just skipped the last few letters. Appetite. Appetit. There's no rules. Appetit. That's, yeah, actually, yeah. Although I would say appetit, but I'm bad at French, so don't listen to me. You think it's confusing that Quebecois or Canadian French isn't even the same as French from France. I bet I'd take this off. Whoop. Ah, look at your little blinky red light there. Click the wire and drag it to the toolbox. Okay. Yep. Yeah, Mexican Spanish not the same as Spain Spanish. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've a friend from Wales, and he's like, even in London, like the city, you go a few blocks and English is changed. Like it's a completely different dialect. Crazy over there. Hey,
Looks
look
like
at me.
This new circuit board is all hooked up.
Appetit. See, I'm right. I occasionally am right. I only know French from cereal boxes and things that are sold at the grocery store. I think I can put the lid back on now. And then not screw. And
There's still
then
a part I need to attach. Where does it go?
the butt. Does it go in the butt? Oh, wait, hold on. Did I mess up? No. Move it over. Whoop, okay. Screw. I'm Cajun French, Quebecois French, yeah, all different. Oh, Cajun especially, yeah. Because Cajun, if I recall,
Still a few parts missing.
Because of the war that I can't remember the name of. Did I do it? The war. In 1814, we took a little trip. That one. The people who came from the south, and I can't remember who it was France? Came, and there was someone else there, and then all got mushed together. Cage for you rather than Cajun. Rotary phone, let's go. I know, right? Isn't it great? I know how to use
back
these.
to Carmen, she seemed almost reluctant to take it from me.
Because it's haunted. This game is going to become a scary game. Everybody wait for jump scares.
So it's all working now, is it? I don't have to leave it to dry or let it cool down?
Nope, it's ready to go. It'll be ringing off the hook in no time.
But what's it from? I'm trying to remember. The story. Was it Spanish? No, that doesn't sound right. Irish? Scottish. Was it Scottish? Scottish or Irish? That they came down to help? And all got mushed up? All right, bring it off the hook in no time.
That's if I can pay my phone bill anyway. And the rent and the suppliers. Anyway, take a seat and I'll be right with you. Your coffee's on the house.
That is how you go out of business.
I sat at one of the empty tables, while at the counter, Carmen had started dialing the phone.
Hello? How's my favourite sister doing today?
We're just going to eavesdrop. All right.
As she talked, Carmen became more and more tense. This didn't seem like a call for some cooking advice.
I bet it's the mayor's wife. I bet.
I know I still owe you from last time, but I can't afford to take part in the festival if I don't pay.
I could almost feel the eye roll at the other end of the line.
You don't need to be here, though. Can't you just put the check in the post?
Drama activating, right? I don't want to get swept up in this. I'm just here to fix stuff, man, not relationships.
When the call ended, Carmen brought me my coffee, her hands trembling.
The coffee spilled
Sorry
all over
about
me.
that.
I sued her
My
for the
sister's
last penny.
decided to fly in for a visit. Oh God, I have to get ready. Actually, I might have another job for you. Can you come by tomorrow?
Sure, I'll go drop the $240 for my hotel so I can come back and fix your phone for a cup of coffee. I'm great at business.
The next day, I'd promised Carmen I'd return to help her get the cafe ready for her sister's arrival. I was about to set out when I received an unexpected call from my hotel's reception desk.
Ma'am,
Apparently, another guest had asked for me by name.
your credit card has bounced. We're going to need you to leave.
Curious, I took the creaking elevator up to the top floor and made my way to the room number they'd given. I knocked.
And was murdered because this is a terrible idea.
You hear about the camera? It's about time.
The woman in front of me was immaculate. Not a hair out of place or a crease to be seen.
My sister tells me you know how to fix things.
A lot of people have
I
rubber
could
credit
go to
cards.
an expert, of course, but in this town,
Travel the world and fix people. I mean, things.
So this was Carmen's sister?
Missionary.
The two of them couldn't have been more different.
You could do both.
Inside her room, I saw a beautiful reflex camera. Any professional photographer's dream.
the viewfinder is completely dark. I can't see anything through it at all. I assume you can figure out what's wrong.
So I took off the lens cap and handed it back and went, "You're dumb." Oh, I got instructions. Okay. Let's remove some stuff. First things first. Everything gets removed. Take it all apart. Forget where it went. Oh, okay. It's the UGG 2. Not to be confused with the UGG 1. Whoa!
I don't suppose you've fixed anything this valuable before.
Nope. Everything I fix is cheap and weird. Thanks for judging me. That's probably the problem. Right there. That's my guess. Gonna put that over there. Place it. Done!
If I use the screwdriver, I could adjust the angle of the mirror.
Thanks there, tutorial. Woo! There. Oh, right there. Yeah, that's right. Oh. There.
Perfect.
Nailed
now
it.
the viewfinder should be working.
10 out of 10. Gotta put it back together. I didn't mean to pick up that piece anyway. Oh, hold on. Nope, there's no screws. Okay, and then screw. Yep, I feel like I have a leftover screw. Do I? Oh, okay, hold on. Maybe it's the top one. Okay, we're good. Oh, film.
Still a few parts missing.
What's it? Is that good? You happy? Does it auto do itself? Because in the other cameras, you're supposed to pull out the film and put it on the little tractor feed. That's how that works.
I felt a pang of envy as I handed the camera to Helena.
So I threw it at her.
Disposable to shame.
Stomped out angrily.
I picked it up on my first trip to Paris. It's a 1958 limited edition, the first of its kind. It cost me 3 months' salary, but it was worth it.
Back then, that was worth almost $45.
I had no idea what 3 months' salary meant to Helena, but I was pretty sure it was more than I could afford. It was strange, really, that we were even staying in the same hotel. I'd picked this place because it was cheap and cheerful, but surely she could afford somewhere better? She took some test shots, fiddling with the camera settings until she was absolutely satisfied.
This work is immaculate. At least there's one person in this town who knows what they're doing.
All I did was change the mirror. It wasn't even that hard.
Sending you to me might be the first thing Carmen's actually gotten right.
I wondered why Helena had bothered coming if she thought so little of her sister.
You're so mean.
I hear nothing from her for weeks, and then when she finally does call me, all she wants is money. If she thinks I'm lending her another penny, she'll have to convince me it's not a total waste of time.
Well, she gave me a free coffee, and her business is failing. Don't give her any money. That's my I don't think you should.
That didn't sound good. If Hurricane Helena was about to hit, I hoped Carmen was ready.
At the end of this is me solving a murder-suicide from two sisters. Yes, the old story about Ford, right? Where the Ford factory or whatever was broken and it wasn't working, and so they sent a guy over and he changed like one part. And telling the story badly. And he left, he sent a bill for $10,001. And he's like, and Ford's like, I'm not paying this. You only changed one thing. And he's like, well, it's $1 for the changing and $10,000 for knowing what to change. Right? I'm not sure you understand the concept of it. No, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop, man.
Riva by the time I reached Carmen's cafe. From the outside, it looked as quiet as ever, but inside, I found Carmen cleaning like her life depended on it.
Wish it did.
Maria! Oh, don't mind all of this. If Helena finds one speck of dust in here, I'll never hear the end of it.
Look how nervous she looks, man. That's rough.
Carmen seemed pleased to see me, but I sensed the fidgeting tension beneath each sweep of her mop. Trying to live up to the standards of someone like Helena seemed like an impossible task.
I hope you don't mind fixing the camera for her. She was furious when it broke. I really need this to go well. If she doesn't lend me the money, I don't know how long I can keep this place going.
Agreed. Yeah. If you could have fixed it yourself, then fix it yourself. That's, go ahead.
Carmen led me to a back room, where she'd laid out the components of what looked like a neon sign.
I had this made when I first opened the cafe, but I'm hopeless with electronics.
So there was supposed to be a sign outside.
Told you it was the open sign.
This might explain the lack of customers.
I'd like to put it up before Helena gets here. Can you give it a try?
Your coffee shop has an ice cream symbol. Is that maybe part of the problem? Maybe? All right. Well, start by taking it apart. We'll have a duck. Hey, move. Well, that seems fine. This goes here. What? It does, though. Maybe it goes where that little hole is. No. It goes there. I know it does. What do you want, game? Jeepers. This is obviously the right spot. That's definitely not it. I don't think the game knows how to fix this thing. Are you broken? You're the thingy that goes in the thingy. I know you are. Okay, well. What am I doing wrong? Do I need to remove this thing? All right, we'll take it apart. Is that what you want? No. But the sign goes on the front though. What the heck? Was this supposed to go just to the other thing? No, that's dumb. What am I doing wrong? I don't get it. It obviously doesn't want that there. Okay, fine. I won't put it there. Do you want me to put the stuff on the other side? Because I will. There you go. That's what you want. Not the order I would have done things. But, you know, you're the game. I'm not. Still not happy. Really? Oops. I'm gonna take off the wire. Maybe that's it. So confused as to why it's not happy. Glue. That's stupid. Okay. That is not. Whatever. Maybe it's just really cheap. I'm going to assume the power comes back to the here somehow. Because right now we haven't got a complete circuit. But maybe that oh no, that's coax cable. Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay. I shall not complain. Should be more intuitive game. Oh. No, that's the screw cup. That's wires. Ta-da! Where's the ice cream?
I don't know, it's a bit, flat. Maybe if it flashes, it'll really catch people's eye.
Great idea. I think I have a spare part that could do that.
I carry around a circuit board with me for just such an occasion. Okay. I mean, okay, fair, whatever. Sometimes, it's her business, right? Like, if she knows that she's gonna need a blinky circuit board, then obviously you gotta... Whoa! Blue. Circuit board. And now we gotta do a little bit of a electrical. So that means this goes here. And then this goes here. I can electrical things. I took electrical engineering, I think. Ah, fiddle! No! Been a little while. Cool. Boop. Ta-da! I don't like that as much.
It still needs something else. Maybe we can add one of these.
Dude, you're broke! Okay, this is gonna be $100. I'm gonna charge her $100 for this. Better not try to pay me off in like a coffee and a pastry. Stop doing that, game. Why doesn't she have a coffee cup? I know, right? I think she might be just really bad at business. No. Stop trying to be intuitive. There. Jeepers. You bought a DIY kit? Maybe. Is that what this is? Could have been. I was thinking about putting a neon sign up there. You can get custom neon signs. They're not even terribly expensive. If they're not huge. Glue. All right. Probably this, and then probably this. You happy? Oh, I forgot to put the thing in. Oops.
I think the whole thing is supposed to light up.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. Ice cream, drinks, or pizza? I mean, in the picture it was ice cream. Let's just assume she has gelato. I'm gonna lose my mind. That's so annoying. How'd you do? Happy?
It works. I'll screw everything together again and you'll be set.
Sure.
The sign fixed, we headed outside and mounted it carefully over the cafe door.
It definitely lights up the mood. It definitely does. Even though it was making me crazy. Like, stop removing that piece, for crying out loud.
Oh, that's perfect, Maria. It looks just how I imagined it. When I had this sign made, it all seemed so simple. Oh, I can't believe I might have to give it all up. I hope I've done enough.
What did you do? You put up a sign and called your sister.
The smile froze on her face as she spotted something over my shoulder. I turned to see.
He was a sniper.
Of course, my sister owns the only cafe in this entire town that isn't actually open.
For better or worse, Helena had arrived.
Helena's a bit of a jerk. Not gonna lie, Helena's a bit of a jerk.
Carmen opened her mouth to explain, but Helena swept indifferently past her.
He's a super jerk.
Finally pausing in the doorway, she turned back towards Carmen.
The first thing we're doing is getting rid of that hideous sign.
Now it's personal. I will fight you.
And with that, she disappeared inside. I hoped Carmen's chances of saving the cafe hadn't disappeared with her.
Rude. You are rude. All right. Right?
It was the day before the festival, and the whole town was busy getting ready. I had more work than I knew what to do with. When Joseph called with another job, I was craving the cool quiet of his and Izzy's seafront house. I'd barely reached their front door when I heard someone calling me.
Psst, Maria, I need your help. Quickly, it's top secret.
It was Izzy, peeking out from the side of the house. She beckoned for me to follow her. She led me through to a beautiful, unruly garden overflowing with flowers of every color. Nestled among them was a playhouse, its doorway almost completely obscured by a towering rose bush.
In a shrine.
You have to squeeze past it and breathe in real small, like this.
Izzy
Well-
took in a big gulp of air and crawled through the gap and into the playhouse.
Yeah, I wouldn't be invited. I'm glad that Maria's a lot
I
smaller than me.
hadn't planned on crawling in the dirt today, but the life of a repairwoman never did run smooth. On the table inside, there was an electronic toy. Not exactly the usual stock in my parents' antique shop.
I had an accident. I didn't do it on purpose or anything, but it won't turn on anymore. Can you fix it for me?
Sure, no problem. It's out in the playhouse behind us because her dad said she's not allowed to play video games. What game are we playing? Pop and Play Forest Adventure. All right. That's acceptable. Wow, that's a really messed up thing. What did you do, kid? Forest Adventure is an intense game. Well, I think battery's fine. They're not going to let me replace the battery. But there's not any screws in it. All right, first things first. We got to remove the button. She had to. I mean, that is serious damage. Okay, what are you? Are you an entire circuit board? Hold on. Whoa. Okay. I think I can see your problem here. I think there might be the fire that erupted on the inside of this entire little gizmo here. Do I need glue? Where's the glue? Don't need glue this time. Okay. The other music chip? I guess I need to remove this other music chip. Okay. Whoop, put that back. And we have a couple things. Game Boy cartridge, looks like Game Boy Advance SP. Dual screen that folds like that. Colored and styled with like a Game & Watch. Yeah, very much, right? This thing is not in color, for sure. All right. Oh, we got to get rid of the screen, which means I got to take apart the whole thing. Dagnabbit. And it twist it. Okay, the one goes to the middle. Let's connect the music first. The light here goes to light there. Music here goes to music there. And then that obviously goes there. Okay. I think we did it. Nintendo. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. This thing got thrown. Yeah. Although that is some rage quit. That is some rage quit is what I see there for sure. Oh, wait a sec. Hold on. There it is. That is A button mash. Oh, I didn't fix the A button. Ah, man. Forgot to fix the A button. Hey! Hello! It's raining mangoes. It's raining mangoes. It's raining men, but it's raining mangoes. That's pretty good. Oh! Good to see you. 20,000 followers? Okie Dinah, you really did go viral, didn't you? Good for you. How was that for the alert system? Did it just go off for like 3 days? I mean, you gotta have your spare A buttons. That's so funny. I love it. That's so cool. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. If you're new here, and you might be actually, considering you came from Hannah's stream, my name's XtianNinja. Mission here on this channel is to just build community through shared experiences and through counseling. I'm a full-time pastor, and so we talk about stuff and then we play some fun games together. I'm also the executive director of the Alliance for Creative Outreach, which is a network of Christian content creators who we love to support and train and resource and network together so that they feel supported and they feel more, confident in what they do. That's what we do. Muzak goes to 2. Stardew, no work on stream. Then I went to work on my site, but had no energy. Aw, what happened to Stardew? That's not a very, that game doesn't require a lot of juice. Bummer. You really do need a new computer. You can't run Stardew. Okay, there's that. Well, I've made it so that it is the least efficient game of all time. So that's something.
Do grown-ups play games as well?
Nope. We stop playing video games as soon as we turn 16, and then we immediately go straight to work and never think of fun ever again. I'm sorry. How old are you again? Try to enjoy this. On. They kill. Yeah, exactly. It's bad for you.
Can you show me how to play? I tried before, but it was so hard.
I don't know. Maybe. I am pretty good at the video games. Do I get to use the arrow keys? Aha! It's Pokemon. She did rage quit. First week or two I had to turn off follow alerts. Yeah, it couldn't keep up. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking the same thing, right? Because it does. If you don't have it set up a certain way, and I don't for sure, it will just do one at a time.
I watched Izzy retreat into
Love
its
it.
screen.
That's exciting.
Taking refuge in a 3-inch world of her own.
Who hasn't chased themselves into Pokemon and stayed there for a while? Me. I've never played Pokemon. Not a day in my life.
I'd better head inside. Your dad is waiting for me.
Please don't tell him about the game. He'll think I broke it on purpose.
I've already told him. I sent him an email and charged him the bill. How was I supposed to get paid? Were you going to pay me in buttons again? Because I don't... That was just one time. Was the Legend of Zelda. So like for me with the with the Pokemon, I go and I watch Chrono and he's like, I love this Pokemon game. Look at me play Pokemon. I'm having so much fun with Pokemon. And I'm like, should I try Pokemon? He seems to make it sound pretty fun. And then I remember that I don't like Pokemon. First half of the video was posted. I had about 200 consistent views. Notifications were like 10, 20 minutes behind. Far out, man. I love it. Don't accept buttons as payment unless it's actually I'm out of A buttons. If you have another, I would like to take it from you.
Why would he think that?
Because, well, I kind of dropped it really hard at the wall.
She rage quit. We called it. We know gamer. We know gamer logic. We get it, man. Who hasn't shucked a controller at something at some point or wanted to snap it in half? Video games, they're fun.
She looked down, scuffing her shoes on the worn floor of the playhouse.
You should. I don't know how you broke only the A button. That should have been a lot worse.
My dad said I have to go to this stupid festival tomorrow and put on a stupid dress, and I don't want to. All he cares about is working. He never wants to see me unless it's for his job. I'm not going. He can't make me.
That's such a kid thing to say. I dropped it. Where did you drop it? At the wall. Yeah, 1000% I can hear a kid saying that.
With that, Izzy dove back through the rosebush and disappeared into the wilds of the garden. She was so young. She couldn't be expected to see that her dad was struggling too.
Right?
It made me think. Had I really tried hard enough to understand my parents' point of view?
No child ever has. Sorry. In the words I said to my mom. I talked to my mom on the phone this a while back, and the kids were doing whatever. And I said, Mom, when do they start listening? And she responded with, have you? And I'm like, touche. To paraphrase Dorothy Parker, I think this is not a game to put down lightly. This is a game to hurl against the wall with great force. Well, if it helps.
I was so focused on the adventures ahead of me. Maybe I didn't care enough about leaving them behind.
Yeah, you decided to take up leaving as your occupation. You know, I can fix watches too. Hey, I must be pretty talented.
Leaving Izzy hiding in the garden, I walked around to the front of the house and rang the doorbell.
Hey, I need some money. A kid broke your game and all that.
It was only then I noticed my favorite overalls covered in grass stains. I scrubbed desperately, but it was too late.
That's what overalls are
Maria,
for.
what are you doing? What happened to your clothes?
I work for a living, Mayor.
I was, repairing a lawnmower.
How unusual. Well,
Lying to the
Do
clients.
come in.
Always a good idea.
the
Especially
job
the parents.
I've got for you is a little more delicate.
Oh,
Totally embarrassed, I walked into an orderly room filled with papers and ledgers. So this was his office. You must be so busy getting ready for the festival. Are you looking forward to it?
Of course. It's traditional for the mayor to judge food from every cafe and restaurant in town.
and you're complaining about being mayor? Come on, man.
I'll be declaring the best chef in Bella Riva by this time tomorrow. Speaking of which,
I
He
wonder who's
unclipped the
gonna
watch
win.
from his wrist and very carefully handed it to me.
I feel like there's somebody who's really good
I'll
at
have
baking,
a tight schedule to
but not
follow,
so good at
but my
business.
watch stopped working a while ago. Could you see if you can make it tick again?
And her sister is really good at business, but not so good at baking. And her sister will discover through the event that she really does have talent, but because she needs help. And then they will get together and everything will be happy forever and ever.
Are you sure it will all fit back together?
No, I'm just doing stuff, man. Over here. That's what I want. Is that how that is how life works? All right. Apparently there's a screw. Oh, teeny tiny itty bitty little watch screws. Okay. Meow. Meow. I'm gonna lose all these pieces. It's a good thing Maria keeps track of the pieces for me, because I would drop them on the floor. What's the problem? What's the problem here? I don't want to start doing stuff till I can see what the problem is. Know what I'm saying? What actually is the problem? Probably the thing that's going blurp blurp right there. Whoop. Oh, the whole thing is smashed. Oh dear.
The main plate has completely cracked. I'll need to replace it.
I'll reach into my main plate pocket.
Cogs look good, though. If I'm careful, I can reuse those.
All right, I know how I saw how it was put together. This was the next one. No, it wasn't. This was the next one. All right, nope. What? Can't put that on there. I'm supposed to take off the... Hold on, I'll put this away. I can't put this away. Take this, put there, take off the thing. That's what it wants. Okay. Okay, that's way too many. That is way too many. I love Pokemon, but it's not for everyone. I'm one of the I'm not one for FPS games, for example, but I've grown to appreciate some games by playing them, especially with others. Yeah, I haven't actually, like, I remember when I first started streaming, and it was time for like to pick a game, and I picked all the wrong games, but it ended up being the like, I think it was Detroit Become Human, that really kind of like, man, that's a great game. And I realized I've kind of since left that behind. Oh, you want to be there. And I need to find, this is the kind of game that I want to play. These are my jam. Not necessarily the puzzle, but the story. What? I'm gonna put this in here. Yeah. And I'm gonna put this. Did that not go there? Here? And that there? Did you have a red herring piece? You did not. I don't think I should have extra pieces. Aha! Used to think action adventure games still do. You'd like action adventure games still do. But during the lockdown, developed a taste for RPGs, which I had basically ignored all my life. Actually, you're not alone. There was like this big thing that happened with Expedition 33, where there's like this renaissance of game stuff, right? Like that, where people were like, I didn't want to play this ever, you know, RPGs, I mean. And then they discovered, in a very real sense, that there was a huge market for them, for the RPGs, that nobody was filling. Like, it was like Final Fantasy, and that's it.
I've not gone a day without this watch since my wife gave it to me.
Although I'd imagine you found some, because there were obviously some out there. But did you have to like dip back into the archives in order to make it happen? I kid about D&D and stuff like that when I was a teenager. Played Final Fantasy VII, really enjoyed it. Yeah, was that the what? Yeah, reaching back, it seems to be the only way. But I do want to try Expedition 33. It sounds like it could be a really like, people are like, this game has some of the best story of any game they've ever played their entire life, kind of thing. And I'm like, oh wow, that's high praise, you know. I think I heard someone say the first hour is more compelling than most games for their entire playthrough. Like the first 5 minutes of Up, where you're like, that was a whole movie in 5 minutes.
I handed the watch back to Joseph. My fingers traced over the engraving on the back. I hoped fixing this was one small way I could help him move forward.
I can't believe it's working, Maria. Thank you. My wife was a brilliant woman. Feeling this ticking on my wrist, it makes me feel like she's still here.
I might be magic. The only way that explains
Watches
having these
measure
things is
minutes
because I'm
and
magic.
hours like they're infinite. I didn't know we had so little time. Even with Isabel, I barely see her. And when I do, she acts like she hates me.
Yeah, those two things go together. You should spend more time with her, and then she won't. Because she wants your attention.
Just then, the phone rang.
So she does things
Even
to get
when
attention.
He was at home, his work was never done.
And negative
Sorry,
attention
Maria.
is
I
attention.
have to take this. I'll see you at the festival tomorrow.
Ooh, that was in stereo. That was fun.
As I left, I turned and saw him pacing the floor of his office, his watch glinting in the afternoon sun. I hoped its quiet ticking would at least bring him some peace during the busy days to come.
Confession, I don't like ticking clocks. I don't like them at all. I've been in people's homes and like slept over or whatever and took the batteries out of the clock because it was ticking. That's how much I don't like it.
When my last job of the day brought me to Carmen's apartment, the door was opened by someone I didn't expect to see, Helena.
Sorry for inflicting this mess on you.
Ticking clocks tick me off. Yeah, they do.
Buy, apparently.
They get under my skin. Carmen, where did she get the money for knickknacks?
Carmen's apartment was a little chaotic, but totally charming. It was easy to imagine her living in a place like this. It definitely wasn't Helena's style. She seemed more upmarket than flea market. I wondered why she was even here.
Because of her sister.
We're having a clear out, or at least I am. Carmen's not helping, as usual.
You're throwing out her stuff without her being here?
Tomorrow.
Maybe don't.
I'm selling some of these things to make her some money.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
She says she has nothing when there's all this stuff right under her nose.
Helena stepped delicately past the items on the floor and reached down to pick up one from the pile.
Look at this slide projector. Our parents treasured it, but Carmen treats it like a piece of junk.
Ooh, you're
Can you
upset.
take a look?
She was gritting her teeth. You could hear it in her voice. My parents have a clock over the piano. They've changed the mechanics. It used to tick unevenly. It drove me crazy when I was trying to practice piano, and it didn't help that it was already de facto metronome. Right? Yeah, metronome fighting with the metronome that was uneven. Oh, that sounds terrible. That sounds like diabolical. Like they do that to torture people. All right. Oh, you go right here? Warning, electricity. I know how to words. That found it. Okay. Let's take that out.
That light bulb is completely smashed. Okay, I'll need to redirect the light to the lens at the top for the projector to
Probably a mirror, I would think. So let's yeah. Boop. That it? Did I do the job? Why is there 3 mirrors? That was... I don't see the other pieces. I think I'm good. That was an easy repair. I feel like I didn't deserve this one. This was too easy. there a button? Oh, up. A wire. Where's that go? Probably in there. Driving home during your last stream. Awesome. Appreciate it.
Oh, typical. Carmen's even managed to get a slide stuck in here.
Maybe I should take it apart more. I guess. What did I miss? I knew there was something, because that was no way that what I did was right. Okay. Switch it up. Nope, no. Nope. Pink wire. You think it goes to the middle right there? That can't be right. Find out. In there? No. That's not where that goes. Where does it think it goes? Where do I think it goes? Hold on. Do I take this off? Is it? All right. Can't remove that. Can't remove that. Can't remove that. I don't see another screw. There's a third mirror. Oh, this mirror goes here. Okay. Oh, I did it wrong. That goes this way. Yep. That's the problem.
Looks like something is still missing.
Yeah, that wire.
I was so excited when I moved to the city. Carmen, she looks so sad.
Oh, there we
There's
go.
the clicker you'll need to attach. God knows how Carmen broke that as well.
You're just the worst, man. How about you give your sister a break? I don't want to hold the clicker.
Looks like something is still missing.
Big cap. That's kind of cool that the projector projects in 3D space. Kind of fun. Where'd the music go?
I should make sure I screw everything back together.
I did. I'm not missing any screws. No, hold on. Do I put it in here? No. Oh, yeah, that's where I put it. Dagnabbit. Okay. All the screws are screwed. probably put this here. Yes, that's what it is. It doesn't go on the floor. It goes on the back. And then you take the wire. You screw it in here. That's done.
When we were younger, Carmen was always following me around.
It comes out, yeah, next to last stream. It comes out to next to last stream. Yeah. Last stream on this PC, Jones. Last stream on this PC. I have a new streaming PC.
I suppose she looked up to me. A cool older sister.
Yeah. Now you're just kind of the big dumb jerk older sister.
She used to ask me when I was coming home, but I was always too busy.
Finally was able to replace the streaming PC. And it's working like a tickety-boo today. I tell you what.
Two young sisters the projector had brought glaringly into focus.
Like, legit, it's funny how smooth this stream is going on this old PC. Just, I don't even want to think about it. Like, come on, really? Come on. But yeah, so it was good. Yeah, I'm gonna replace it tonight. It'll be good. And then after that, it's only about 1,500 other things to do, and some stuff for Reach, and then I'm sure it'll be fine.
I never meant to let her down.
But you haven't, have you? You came all this way just to help with the cafe, plus the money.
Right? It knows it's on its last legs. I'm taking it behind the barn, and we're gonna be putting a bullet in it.
That's the problem. There is no money. I lost my job a few months ago.
Yes.
My savings are almost gone. I have nothing.
Which is why you're trying to sell all of her stuff, you monster.
Carmen thinks I'll throw my checkbook at her bad decisions and make them okay. But I can't. Not this time.
We're sending it up to your uncle's farm to live. It's better for him there. It's a better environment. They can run outside. It's good. It's a good thing. No, you can't go for a visit. It's pretty far away.
You know, the funny thing is, I came here wanting to tell her the truth, but she's so infuriating. How can I ask her for help when all she cares about is herself?
Ditto. Come on now. How about you guys work together? There's a thought.
Elena fell silent, shrinking under the gaze of her younger self, projected onto the wall.
We drifted so far apart when I moved away. It felt like the only thing keeping us together was my bank balance.
Well, that's no good.
I know I have to tell her the truth. It isn't fair. But I already lost everything else. What if I lose her too?
Maybe don't be mean. I'd try it. I don't know. Attach a lightning rod to it. Yeah, give it a juice. Maybe we could pull like a Back to the Future. Give it some gigajoules. Gigawatts.
The day of the festival finally came, and after all my hard work, I was ready to put down my tools and pick up a fork. The smell as I entered the main square was incredible. Each stall was selling food even more delicious than the last. The competition would start any minute. Most stall holders were waiting anxiously for the mayor to pay them a visit. All of them, that was, except Carmen, who was still frantically chopping vegetables and stirring pots.
Maria! Thank God you're here. Can I ask you the world's biggest favour?
I will not give you any money.
Helena was supposed to help me run the stall today, but she never turned up. Probably too ashamed to show her face. I can't believe she lied to me.
Did you yell at your sister, you hypocrite?
Carmen was stirring so furiously she was in danger of tipping the pot over altogether.
The mayor will be here any minute for the judging, but I'm almost out of my special.
Put some aside.
She wasn't really going to ask me, was she? Not on my day off.
You could say no.
I have a stove ready to build and everything. Can you set it up and make me a spare batch?
I'm making the food? I'm making your special? Are you kidding me right now? Golly. Aren't I a nice person? I'm a giant pushover, more like. I've never built one of these. I don't even know what this thing is. Yeah, I don't know how to do this. I have no idea what this is. This looks like it goes in here, but it won't let me, so that's not right. What if we assemble it separately? You're gonna put this here, and then put this there, and that on. Hold on, I'm gonna spin it. That there. I assume these go here. Camping is outdoors stuff, man. I don't go outdoors.
It all fits. Now to light the gas.
Okay. Put it back. Oh, click. I'm gonna fill the room in glass. We're all gonna explode. What the heck? Ah! We're gonna die. There we go. Now what do I do with it? I'll put it on this paper. Okay. 1 pint of stock. Good. Hold on. I'm gonna move you over. I'm gonna take the broth on. Oh, for the love of Pete. I have to do it a certain way. Fine. Okay. 1 stick of carrot. Do we have a stick of carrot anywhere? If I turn this over, will it spill? Wouldn't that be funny? Oh, it won't let me. That's funny. Broccoli florets, chopped tomatoes. I don't have nothing to work with here. Okay, try this.
I think that pot is really boiling now. Smells great, if I say so myself.
I guess I don't have to put the ingredients in.
Here are the ingredients that Carmen's given me. What to add first?
I spoke too soon. Well, it said 1 pint of stock, which I did. So 1 stick of whatever this is. Definitely. Need the whole stick. Just the more butter you put in, the better it tastes. That's what I've learned. Half of a carrot. 2 broccoli florets. A handful of chopped tomatoes. Technically, I have a really tiny hand.
Good. I'll scoop a spoonful when I'm ready to serve.
Hold on. It said plenty of love. I haven't put that in yet.
My part done, Carmen took over and added the finishing touches. It was just in time, and a moment later, Joseph arrived with Izzy in tow. Carmen anxiously handed them both a serving.
And you know how soup works. As soon as it's put together with all the raw ingredients, immediately ready for consumption. And I didn't add a stitch of love, not a bit.
So tasty. Can I have some more, please?
Did you tell your dad about what you did to your Game Boy?
Well, you've certainly earned yourself a loyal customer in my daughter. We have a few more meals to taste, but so far you are one of the best.
Oh, thank you.
Good luck.
Joseph and Izzy looked so happy together. Maybe the festival was doing them some good after all.
A little bit of food, a little bit of fresh air, a little bit of sunshine. Yeah, good for you.
Carmen,
I
on the
wouldn't
other
know.
hand, seemed annoyed. But why, when it had all gone so well?
I wish Helena was here to see this. She's so convinced I'll never succeed at anything.
You haven't succeeded yet, so calm down.
She wants what's best for you. She's just not very tactful about it.
Yes, I know. Even when I was a kid, she pushed me when no one else did. I just wish she hadn't lied to me. But then, I've asked so much of her over the years. I never stopped to think how much she actually had to give.
Well, that's the thing, right? If it's like your only relationship is to give money, and that's how the love is held together, is one is dependent on the other, you know, and then the one who's being depended on isn't able to be anymore, then there's nothing left to kind of tie you together. And so the shame and the fear is going to override any of the relationship stuff. It's not healthy. All right, we're going to put together a record player, but I got to take a quick break first. We're going to come back. We'll probably finish the game today, I think. But I need to do a little break first. Exclamation point web, please go sign up for the newsletter. Exclamation point tell a friend. Be awesome if you told some folks that we exist. And then exclamation point do a thing to, and pick a favorite person and see what happens to them. I'll be right back. All right. We'll turn on the music. Hello.
The festival finished. I only had one day left before I had to catch my train and leave Bella Riva behind. I couldn't go without saying goodbye to Carmen. So that evening, I made my way to the cafe. It was unrecognizable.
Burnt down.
She'd done it. Best food in Bella Riva.
Oh.
Half the town was outside waiting to see what the fuss was about.
I definitely thought it was going to be arson. because they, you know, needed the insurance money and stuff. That, I mean, that's another way to go, is successful business. But, you know, you write your story how you want to.
Maria, my favorite sous chef. Come on through.
It was Carmen, acting every inch the successful cafe owner she deserved to be. Even Helena was there, serving the coffees. This was the last place I expected to see her after yesterday's drama.
Well, she's broke now. She's a waitress working for her sister. How the mighty have fallen.
Carmen led me through to a balcony upstairs, where she brought out an old record player.
I found out where Helena was on the day of the festival. She was selling her camera to clear the cafe's debts. But then she didn't have much left for herself.
Holy Dinah!
I've asked her to come and stay with me for a while. We have a lot of catching up to do.
That was an expensive camera.
I wanted to give her this to cheer her up. We listened to it all the time when we were kids. Do you think it has one last tune in it?
That's not how those work, but okay.
Okay, let's see what happens when we turn this on.
Oh, wait, what? I already flipped it upside down, though.
The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring. The speaker isn't connected properly.
I know, I had to turn it
I
off.
should check the wiring.
Okay. Got parts, all the pieces.
Here's the problem. This wiring isn't connected properly.
There's your problem. See, the issue is he's got your wires in the wrong spot, you know what I'm saying? Audio? Audio? Oh, wait a sec. I see. I do
turn the
electrical
volume up,
work.
I should be able to hear it now.
Me smart. But what about the fast forward button? What's it supposed to connect to? And how's there a fast forward button on a record? It's supposed to be speed. Okay, hold on. Are you gonna make me do this in 2 phases? Fine, whatever. It's gonna come out, it's gonna be like, oh, it's going too slow. Oh no, the dial doesn't work. Blah.
The speaker isn't connected properly.
It is so.
I should check the wiring.
Excuse me?
The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring.
I did check the wiring. Oh! That probably has something to do with it. Uh-huh.
I think that should do it. This record should play beautifully.
That wasn't the speaker, though. I don't think. Hold on. Because the sound's going to come in here from carrying down the needle in there, which is going to send the sound out here and directly into the speaker. This here, I guess that's the vibrator gizmo. I don't know what that's a resistor of some kind or something, right? Let me take that out. Oh, I should not do that. No, whatever. I'm sure it's fine. She seems happy. Whoops. If she's happy, I'm happy.
It's spinning the wrong way.
Dagnabbit.
How can I get it to play in the right direction?
It's a good question.
It must be to do with the motor. Let's see if one of these spares can turn things around.
Yeah, it's making me do things in a certain order, which is fine. I don't mind. Fine. Increases it. Yeah, I think that might be it. Let's go. Whoop, 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 beep, boop. What are you? 78B 715 or the 7WO? I don't know. Obviously, that seems like it's fine though. 7L5. How would I know? Do I just like trial and error? All right. Well.
The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring. The speaker isn't connected.
This is hitting me a little too close to home because this is literally how I fix things. It's just, oops, and then undo all the screws again. At least there's no screws here.
This motor doesn't seem to work. Maybe I'll have better luck with a different one.
Called it.
Well, it's playing in the right direction. I should check it's turning at the correct speed.
That sounds right. Yeah, it's true, but like, you should know what the speed of that gear is by looking at the model number. I want to make it loud, faster. Oh, dang. I messed up. Yeah. I improved it considerably. Whoa, too loud.
The record player's crackling tune must have caught Helena's ear, as she appeared a few moments later.
Is that my old record player?
Nope.
I can't believe you've kept
Mine
it.
now. She sold it to me. You should talk to your sister about this. She said, I don't even care what my sister thinks. You can have this.
Leaning over the music, they looked just like the young sisters the slide projector had preserved all these years. Inseparable, once again.
Well, okay.
Carmen told me about your camera. That was a really generous thing to do.
I loved that camera, but I love my sister
Yeah, right?
more. Now it's her time to be the person she wants to be.
And you're going to be her waitress. That's good.
I'm going to stay here with her for a while. Make up for lost time.
I mean, it never did say what she did. Like, she looks like business lady, because, I don't know, glasses, collar. But, like, maybe she just isn't that. Like, maybe she may only be qualified to waitress.
Carmen and Helena's relationship wasn't suddenly going to be perfect.
But you said...
They were both prepared to try. And to think, it had all started because of a call Carmen made about some seasoning tips. I guess in the end, maybe it wasn't so hard to just pick up the phone and dial. I hadn't spoken to my own parents in a year. I wanted to hear their voices more than anything. But the silence between us was so cavernous.
That's a lot of silence.
I didn't know how I'd ever find the words to bridge it.
How about, hi, it's Maria. Ooh, pretty.
My final morning in Bella Riva, I received one last call out to Joseph and Izzy's house. I knew I had to pack, but I figured I could squeeze in one final job before I had to leave. When I arrived, I found Joseph tidying up his wilderness of a garden. The playhouse was already cleared. Inside, I could see Izzy happily testing out her screw-driving skills on the back of her cassette deck.
My parents stopped buying me stuff because I kept taking it apart.
You've made quite the impression. Izzy, tells me she's going to be a repairwoman like Maria.
I'm sure she could be anything she wanted if she put her mind to it.
She could. She's a brilliant child. Spending the day with her at the festival, I haven't had so much fun in ages.
Just gotta work on that
I wanted
rage.
to give her something before she starts to forget.
Gotta work on that fiery temper.
Inside, the house was transformed, flooded with light and the sounds of the garden. It felt alive again.
What?
This would be my last repair in Bellariva, but it felt like it was the house that had really been restored.
That's just a distinct vibe change because of a watch in a video game.
It's a music box.
Oh, and a
It
statue.
used to play beautifully, but now when I wind it up, nothing happens.
Because I keep winding and winding and winding and winding and winding it, and eventually it made a weird noise.
I'd love for Izzy to hear it sing again. Can you?
Yes, I can. Have I not proven myself to you yet? Ooh. I probably shouldn't take that picture out. That sounds like a terrible idea. Okay. Got gunk. Good gunk. Hold on. Ooh. Okay. Get away. Here. Oh, is that supposed to be like that? Oh, it's a little bird. Okay, sorry. I thought that was a gunked up needle. But then this isn't a record player, so why would it need a needle? All right. Flip it over. Screwdriver. Zoom. Now that I've got the hang of moving the all the pieces around pretty quickly, the game's over. Ah.
This mechanism is completely broken.
Which
I'll need
mechanism?
to take it all apart before I can fix it.
You carry around a song with you. Well, isn't that cool? All right, first things first. Junk that. Junk that. Okay. Let's put this in. That makes sense. And then we'll put this here. That makes sense. And then the big one here. And a little one here. I think. Check it. Nailed it. Yeah, last stream. Last stream on this PC. They will never again on this PC. It's chill. The vibe is extremely chill. It's a very, very nice game for a Monday. It was a good machine, right? Yeah. Well, it held in for 14 some years, man. I can't complain too loudly because it held in like a champ. It's fun. It's like this. Oh, come on here. Help me out. The story is fun. Like, it's held together with an actual narrative, which I was a little worried that it wouldn't have a story to it, but it's mostly a story. It's a storybook with the occasional activity. And the activities are not difficult. Why is there glue? Okay. Aw. Did that work? Did I do it? Why is there glue? I think they might be throwing some red herrings in, or I'm just wrong. Alien Tech, I watched Samus play once. Yeah, definitely. If it was any chiller, you wouldn't be able to play. You know what? I think maybe I installed this upside down. Or... Heh. Do I have to glue the bird on? I think it's supposed to pop out when you use it. I think what it wants me to do is fix the picture. But I feel like I shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like it's just a bad idea. Woo. Okay.
Maria, could you add this family picture of us?
Told ya. Now I'm home. Rock and roll, man. Aw. I will do that. Having a oh, glue. I always forget the glue. This picture will never fall off. Perfect. Oh, was there glass? I don't think so. How's donut today? Hope you're well, man. Huh. I mean, the bird's supposed to pop up. What am I missing? Why are you unhappy? No. Here. Take a look at you. What are you? Think this is... That... Hmm? You go on this side. Oh, no, it flips it over. Like, that's how it wants it. And when I... The gray box in the bottom had pieces, right? Did they go in the circle? Yeah, it had pieces. I took them out, though. And then it had the bird, like the little dove in it. Okay. It is, well, it's very simple. I mean, yeah, it's Jones's job, right? The do your job.
A few parts missing.
Are there? The drawer obviously is a piece. Are you happy now? It did actually. I was just saying how easy this game was and how I didn't even have to think about it. I think we're gonna have to take it apart. Okay, well, let's see what's what. Get out! Okay. Imagine putting down the screwdriver in between every single screw. It's like when they tell you to eat, mindfully, and you're supposed to put your fork down between every bite.
Looks like something is still missing.
I agree with you. But like, what? No. Let's... Is it? Wait, hold on. Maybe I gotta take this out. Put that away. Put it over there. Okay. Bird. Bird. What the heck? I made it make music. And then the bird. It's play down. Why? These ones are tricky. Because the gear's wrong? I got the gears wrong. That's why. Aha. That is also wrong. Now we're talking. Okay. Hold on. I don't think I did that right either. Are those gears meshing? They are not. Okay. Off. You. Off. This. There. Those don't touch. Okay. Well, that one's got to come off. And maybe that one goes there. Well, that feels better. Also good. Oh, the gears touch. Things are good. I think. Find out. Yay!
Perfect. The mechanism is good as new.
Cool. What's up, big player? How you doing, man? What's that icon? That first one. Knock, knock. Oh, I love it. That's cool. That took entirely too long. I didn't realize I'd gotten the gears wrong. That seems like a really important detail. It might be the only detail. What is the music box if not a collection of gears? Cool. Be over. Put it in the drawer. And then there.
I think that's
did it.
everything
Yay!
back together again. I should
My
play it
wife
to make
used to
sure.
sing this song to Izzy each night before bed, but I always worked too late to join them.
Dads.
Will you dream a dream for me? Press it by your side.
It's okay. We have an app for that now.
Hold you so tight.
Put on a CD and go watch
So
TV.
much already. I want to be the father my wife wanted me to be. I've ended up so much like my own.
Ain't that
father,
nice? Yeah, it's a nice little story.
working all the time. Izzy needs me more than that. Especially now it's just the two of us.
That does make sense, play it. It really does. I don't have a knock knock thing. I just gotta kick in the door like the Kool-Aid man and just, hi, I'm here now.
My daughter comes first. Well, until she gets bored of her stuffy old dad anyway.
I'll never ever get bored of you, Dad.
Izzy came running into the room where Joseph scooped her up and onto his shoulders. She gazed at the music box, her eyes shining. I'd never seen her look so happy.
Thank you, Maria, for everything. The things you fixed for me. I'm so glad to have them back.
Joseph was a good father, and I could tell he was determined to be an even better one. When it came down to it, that was all any of us wanted. A second chance to make something right. My time in Bellariva was almost over, but before I left, I knew there was something of my own I needed to fix.
A relationship with her parents. Not enough glue in the world. Oh, I'm packing. I'm repacking. Do I have to remember from the beginning of the game? I hope not, because I won't remember.
My time in Bellariva was almost at an end. Another chapter finished in a story whose ending I hadn't felt ready to write. The people I'd met, the items I'd restored, they'd taught me so much about what was really important. Pulling out my suitcase from beneath the bed, I remembered the day I stole it from my parents' shop, the day I left. Afterwards, I was too ashamed to call them, to apologize. It was a guilt I'd been carrying around every day since.
So this game, I think it came out about 2 years ago, if I had to guess. I remember watching, I'm going to go with Crossing Tommy, I think, is the one I saw playing it. And I thought, that's pretty cool. It's really chill. I didn't realize it had a story. And it's very fun to have a story.
As I packed, I knew that it was up to me to find a way to lighten the load.
So I'm throwing everything in the garbage. Unless she means emotionally speaking. History of watches. Do I have... Okay.
Joseph's idea of light reading for the train. It does look thorough.
Right.
Helena gave me these designer shirts. Not sure I'll pull them off as well as she does.
Is it? I didn't know. That's cool. I'm gonna go slower. That didn't work at all.
Izzy gave me this in exchange for my repair manual. She'll be a pro in no time. My train ticket. I can't believe it's time to leave Bellariva behind. My parents would love Bellariva. Maybe I can convince them to make the trip. The recipe for Carmen's special. I'm under strict instructions to guard it with my life.
Well, it's mostly rubbed out anyway.
My suitcase was full, but it was my heart that felt heavy as I made my way to the station.
The secret ingredient
I was sorry
is
to be
butter.
leaving Bellariva behind, but I hoped that in my own small way I'd made a difference. Helena and Carmen's reunion was possible because they'd learned to overcome their differences.
And shoes. They both hate shoes.
Joseph had realized he shouldn't let his grief or his work get in the way of his relationship with Izzy. They'd each learned to see things from someone else's perspective. Maybe it was time I saw things through my parents' eyes.
Like you shouldn't steal their stuff.
I knew it would be easier to jump on the next train, put even more distance between us, but I finally felt ready to talk to them. I just didn't know if they would feel the same. Did I even remember their number? I wasn't sure until I reached for the phone and it all came flooding back.
Yeah, Izzy's an adorable name. One of those games names that is good for kids, but when you grow up, I think you become Isabel. To most people. Dial. Click. And the phone broke. Ah, crud.
Mom? Dad?
Maria? Is that you?
No, click. Rebecca Lachance. Sissy Jones, that's a good name. We did it! We played a whole game! You call me a wuss. Sissy Jones. That's I never thought about that. Yeah, good old Sissy Jones. That's a terrible name. Well, we gotta put the phone back. I know, now that we're mad, we threw it against the wall.
Carmen here. Sorry I haven't written. The cafe's been absolutely manic since you left. Luckily, I have Helena here to help. You wouldn't recognise her. She's like a new woman. She's always running around, taking orders and making drinks. I even heard her compliment a customer on their outfit.
Yeah,
Personally, I draw the line at fluorescent green bowling shirts, but each to their own. It certainly made the customer smile.
The best way to show somebody that you're not insecure is by freaking out when they insult you a little bit. Right?
She misses the city, though. Bella Eva's many things, but it's definitely not as chic as she'd like.
You're broke, so too bad.
Shop near her old apartment where they made coffee with a shape drawn on top.
Impossible.
It got me thinking, I'm an award-winning chef. I can figure out how to put a leaf on a cappuccino.
You called it cafe.
Coffee might be just what Helena needs.
Isn't it she works at a cafe. Am I crazy? That is a cafe, right? It's...
Of course, ordering a new coffee machine was the easy part. I wish you could have seen the mess I got into trying to put the thing together.
I've been making coffees like crazy, you know, kind of foam milk and getting the frother and trying to find a perfect like system to make froth milk without having to buy like an $80 milk frother. Just a thing. And I'm pretty good at it now. You know, you put it and you put the knife there. But when it comes to like trying to make that, the tulip shape, that's not easy, man. That takes a little bit of doing. So I broke down and I bought stencils. So they're the size of a coffee cup, and you put them on top, and it's got like a little cutout of a shape of, you know, I got a bunch of shapes, and you just sprinkle some stuff on top. The problem is, I didn't realize when I bought them, is that if you have space between like the foam and the stencil, it just kind of spreads out, and then you don't get to see the shape. It has to be like right close, but if it's touching, then when you lift it, you kind of take the foam with you because it's stuck to the stencil. It's a very exacting thing, this coffee. Oh, wow. Okay.
I saw Maria use her screwdriver 1,000,000 times. Taking this apart will be easy.
Whiskey going live with Reach Archipelago? All right. Archipelago? Precision coffee. It is. It really is. Like, I love it. So, like, you know, you use your 19 grams of coffee to your 200 milliliters of water at, you know, 165 degrees. So your milk can be 65 degrees Celsius so that you can foam it, you know, properly to get the micro foam. You can pour it in. You know, like, it's fun. I like all that stuff, the measuring and the figuring and all that. But, you know, it's a fussy thing, man.
These pipes look pretty simple. I should start with them.
Okay. Red.
I'll need to connect all the pipes correctly to stop the steam pouring out.
Well, the fact that you're working on it with steam pouring out is no good. Hold on. I gotta. Yeah, I'm waiting for it to explode. Like, this is a terrible idea. What? Flip properly right side up, please. Yeah, I'll take it. This probably goes upside down this way. And this probably goes down. Probably. Nope, I'm wrong. What am I missing? Oh! There's a whole little, like, thingy here. Cool. And that goes there. And then this presumably goes there.
Finally.
First try.
More steam.
This is an espresso maker. It's the, I want one. I want one so bad. I freaking love espresso. Actually, that's not totally true. I like espresso coffees, like the that you make espresso and then you add a bunch of stuff to it. The actual straight up espresso, not my favorite thing. But the all the exactness and the pulling and the twisting and the, you know, all that stuff, I love it. I love all that. That's the one for you. You sounds like you got some energy, man. Good for you. Let's do this in a reasonable way. That connect to that. So which on the other side is power to 1? Did it just straight up? I think. Am I crazy? And then light. So that goes down. Yeah, and then left. It crosses, and it's the front one. Okay. So light. Should have known that they crossed. Why wouldn't they? And coffee. And power. I think. Are we good? All the lights are lighting? Yep. Happy? Didn't take all that electrical schooling for nothing. Finished BO5, BO7 Battle Pass for the Predators. Now I'm gonna play Blood Hunt all week and for Halloween. It's like Fortnite, but you can dress up like a vampire. Did you finished Battlefield? Or not finished, but you done you played the Battlefield like to the place where you're good now? That's kind of cool. All right, I'll put that on. What's your problem?
It doesn't seem to work unless the circuit lights are all green.
Why didn't you tell me that before I put the lid on then? I thought the circuit lights were all green. I checked. What light isn't green? Green, green. They're all green. There's a circuit light I'm not seeing? Well, there's screws I haven't unscrewed yet. All right. I guess we can try unscrewing those and see what happens. Aha! Well, crud. All right, so 1 is zap, 2 is yell. 1 is zap, and 2 is yell, which makes 3 coffee. All green lights are happy. Good. Finish season pass to get the predator skins so you can use in Warzone. Yeah, that's cool. I keep clicking on it. It's it is not good. I'm like, I want to hover, but it doesn't do anything. That's apparently the menu. Lame. That should do it. Ta-da!
I think that's everything. Better test the buttons, just to make sure.
Well, do you have any coffee to put in the front? Because otherwise that's going to be weird. It's going to come shooting out a bunch of water all over the place at really high temperatures. Do the right color? Is it? Oh, water. Steam. That's the ingredients.
All done. Piece of cake. Time to make my first coffee, I think.
Okay, dude, I've watched so many videos on how to make espresso. It is so complicated if you're trying to do it right. Like there are a million different machines you can get. Like there's one that you just put it on top of the little arm here, and then you spin it, and it evens out the grounds and put like little air in it and stuff. Like it's so fiddly. What's the steam for? So what you do, this is the coffee, right? So it goes on there, and it pushes out really at high pressure, like 16, something like that, 14, 16 psi or something, and it pushes it through, or bars, 16 bars, and it pushes it through really high pressure, so you get really condensed coffee. Then you take the milk on the side, and you put it on there, and it steams the milk, which creates foam and bubbles and whatnot. And then you can you mix those two together and you can make stuff, which is when you know that tulip shape, that's what that is. You got the coffee dark, you pour in the milk, which goes kind of to the bottom, and on the top, when you've got the little micro bubbles, you go boop boop boop, like you kind of tip it back and forth a little bit, and it kind of makes little waves to make it look like a flower. Latte art. Did it with dude, I'd put my accent on there.
Smells delicious. Now to make it look magical.
You're trying to make me do latte art. This is not going to go well. Back and forth. Back and forth. There you go. There you go. It's not sticking. Where's it from here?
Perfect coffee.
Nailed
All
it.
it needs
10
is
out
a
of 10.
saucer and a couple of Helena's favourite biscuits.
I love it. The little fiddly bit stuff is one of my favorite things about making coffee. Just so many different things to learn. It's like there's a short I saw about how men have hobbies, and it becomes your entire kind of universe for a bit, and it's like you never want to see it again. And I with coffee, I'm all in, but I love coffee, so it's really good. My name isn't Joel. You're right, but it's Joel brand cookies. Draws a pentagram.
I was feeling more has-been than coffee queen by the time I'd made a drink fit for human consumption. It looked a bit, postmodern, but knowing Helena's refined tastes...
It is.
I hoped she'd think it was intentional.
So, wake up in the morning and I have a grinder, so it's take the coffee out from wherever special place is that keeps it fresh, and then you put it into the grinder. You set the grinder to the right size depending on what you want to do with it. So espresso grind is small, and then medium grind is for percolators, and then bigger grind is for French press, and then you set that and you can take it all out. You put it into whatever the thing is, and and then it's a matter of where do you want your water and how temperature of the water. And sometimes if I'm doing pour over, I get a little kettle and I put it on the side. I got a gooseneck on it so I can slowly pour it over the top, and it's fun. It's fun. Does it take a little bit to make my coffee in the morning? Yeah, but it's also fun.
Always the connoisseur. She didn't even bother to look at it at first. She was so busy wafting it under her nose. Steamed up her glasses, of course.
No.
How was she going to see my work of art through an eye full of fog?
So when I first started, I kid you not, it was Keurig. and then I'd go over and I'd start messing with the coffee so I could have a coffee while making my coffee. So, but now I just go straight to the good stuff because Keurig tastes
When she
blah.
finally spotted it, though, she was totally impressed. I'll admit, she spent several minutes trying to figure out exactly what it was I'd drawn. She decided it was probably a horse. Well, what she doesn't know won't hurt her. She was impressed enough to ask for another one. I guess I'll need to get some practice in. The whole thing was such hard work, Maria. I never realized how difficult it was, all that mechanical stuff.
I have Eggo waffle flavored coffee. So it's chocolate chip Eggo waffles or blueberry Eggo waffle flavored coffee. That's where I'm at in my Keurig journey.
Much I have to thank you for, so I wanted to say that now. Better latte than never. Hoping you're well. Your friend, Carmen.
Are we done yet? Are we done yet? Are we done yet? We're done. Hooray! Are you sure? Yeah, what else? You got anything else for me? Then I better quit. Oh, wow. Okay. Just, you're done. Get lost. That's the game. Can't leave artificial flavors. I have a mild allergic reaction to most of them. Oh, really? Doesn't taste like anything? Well, yeah, then you're not missing out. You just, boom, yeah, I'm out. But that's where you get into the really fancy coffee, because then you can really tell the difference between the good, you know, the different, how it's made and the different types. Because it really does. Like a pour over tastes very different than, say, a French press, which tastes different than an espresso. They really do taste different. All right, where is my man Quiz? There he is. Thanks for being here, dudes. Tomorrow is Taco Tuesday. I'm gonna do a little presentation for you called in their room. I can't remember what I called it, but it's gonna be something. So that's gonna be doing tomorrow, and then we're gonna jump into probably I don't know, Minecraft maybe. I need to get into Minecraft and start building my castle, my princess castle, for the top of my very pink area. I'm secure in my manhood. I can do all pink stuff. Why not? All right, dudes. Talk to you later.